Lipscomb Bison's baseball is on the air. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Doc Allen coming to you live from beautiful Ken Dugan Field at Stephen Lee Marsh Stadium on the campus of Lipscomb University in Nashville, Tennessee, as we get set to bring you college baseball action between the Northern Illinois University Huskies and the homestanding Lipscomb Bisons. Today's the third game of a three-game series between these two teams. They've played two exciting ball games, both of which have ended by a score of 8-7 in favor of Lipscomb, and each of which has featured some heroics in the 8th and 9th innings to finish those ball games. The visiting Huskies from Northern Illinois University, part of the Mid-American Conference, they enter today's contest with a season record of no wins and 10 losses, no action in conference play yet. The Bisons from the Atlantic Sun Conference have a season record of 6 wins and 4 losses, also no record yet in conference play. As we mentioned last time out, the Bisons were victorious, defeating Northern Illinois 8-7 in a ball game played here at Dugan Field yesterday afternoon. Let's take a look at today's starting lineups. First for the visiting Huskies from Northern Illinois. Leading off, center fielder number 2, Matt Barnes. Batting second, shortstop number 1, Andre Demetral. Batting third, right fielder, number 5, Eric Arado. Batting fourth, third baseman, number 22, Aaron Harper. Batting fifth, doing the catching today, number 15, Caden Kosabucky. Batting sixth, designated hitter, number 12, Scott Combs. Batting seventh, first baseman, number 10, Paxton Kennedy. Batting eighth, second baseman, number 3, Patty McCormick. And batting ninth, left fielder, number 31, Malik Peters. On the mound today for the Huskies will be the sophomore left-hander Connor Landgrader. Comes in with a season record of no wins, no losses, an ERA of 9.39. The head coach for the Huskies is Mike Kunagonis. He's in his 8th season, and he's assisted by Luke Stewart, Josh Petaud, and Eddie Acosta. Now the starting lineup for the homestanding Lipscomb Bisons. Leading off in right field will be number 21, John Shields. Batting second, center fielder, number 19, Maddox Houghton. Batting third, third baseman, number 30, Trace Wilhoit. Batting fourth, first baseman, number 44, Malik Williams. Batting fifth, left fielder, number 13, Rudy Maxwell. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 35, Mason Lundgren. Batting seventh, catcher, number 1, Chaz Bertolani. Batting eighth, second baseman, number 23, Ethan Stamps. And batting ninth, shortstop number 8, Caleb Ketchum. Getting the start on the hill today for the Bisons will be the sophomore right-hander, number 40, Ike Buxton. Comes in with a season record, no wins and no losses, and an ERA of 4.15. Head coach for the Bisons is Jeff Forehand. He's in his 16th season as head coach. He is assisted by pitching coach Matt Myers, hitting coach Ryan Price, director of baseball operations Brian Ryman, volunteer assistant Will Hawks, director of player development Adam Weiss, director of baseball analytics Ryan Moretti, and the assistant director of baseball operations Madeline Hoswell. The Bison's head groundskeeper is Colby Rawls, and the head baseball athletic trainer is Clint Woods. Our umpires for today's game, behind the plate will be Adam Clark, first base will be Chris Dykman, and at third base, Creel Waddell. It's the same crew that we've had for both previous games, although they've adjusted positions today. So first aid of Adam Clark being behind the plate. Our weather right now at Ken Dugan Field is partly cloudy. We've got full sunshine covering the field. Temperature of 77 degrees, but we've had some gusty winds. They've been up to 18 to 20 miles per hour. They're coming out of the southwest today, and so we'll keep an eye on that. Wind was somewhat of a factor in yesterday's game as a gusty wind was blowing in, held a couple balls up. The winds tended to blow in from center field towards the third base line, toward left field. And so that's something that we will keep an eye on as we progress into today's game. But a good crowd gathering. If you're in the area, please come on out and catch this college baseball action in the third game of this three-game series between Lipscomb and Northern Illinois. As we said, they've played two extremely exciting games the last 2 days, and we expect nothing less today. So as the Bisons take the field, we will step aside as we take a pause to honor our country with the playing of our national anthem. Our national anthem is in the books, and as we get set to start, earlier today we had a chance for Erica Plunkett to visit with Lipscomb head coach Jeff Forehand to get his thoughts on today's game.
Coach, you get it done yet again in the 8th inning. How do you keep up that late inning magic?
Well, sometimes it would seem like we don't need to have the late inning magic if we play better in the previous innings. So that's the challenge for this team, and I feel like it's fun to come back and to win those games like that, but I do think we're putting ourselves in some difficult circumstances early in the game. So we've talked about that the last couple of games, so hopefully we can correct that and still play well at the end of the game.
And quietly, Mason Lundgren has put together a phenomenal season. What do you have to say about his performance?
Mason is, he's a really good hitter. He kind of got off to a little bit of a slow start, but, just has quality at bats, and he's the guy that just works at it so hard. So you like to see that success come when, after all this hard work. Not that the rest of them don't work hard at it as well, but he's just a fantastic guy that everybody wants success for. So glad to see him having some early success.
Thank you. Best of luck today.
Thanks a lot.
Bison's head coach Jeff Forehand describing the action this weekend, and we get set to play here in Game 3 with the sophomore right-hander Ike Buxton on the mound. Buxton, a 6'3", 208-pound redshirt sophomore from Ketchum, Idaho. Transfer from Boise State. As we mentioned, he comes in with a season record, no wins, no losses. A 4.15 ERA. He's making his third appearance. He's started both of his previous appearances and pitched very effectively. He's worked 8 2/3 innings total, given up 9 hits, 6 runs, 4 of which have been earned, 2 walks and 8 strikeouts. Opposing batters batting .281 against Buxton. And he'll be facing this lineup today that's got 2 left-handed batters in, everyone else right-handed hitters for Northern Illinois. Huskies have strung together some good innings in these first 2 games. They had 7 hits on Friday, 5 hits in Saturday, or correction, 5 hits on Friday, 7 hits in yesterday's game, but they've been some timely hitting with moving runners around. They did capitalize on 6 Lipscomb errors in Saturday's game. And leading off will be the center fielder, Matt Barnes. Barnes batting .306 on the season, still looking for his first hit on the weekend. He was 0 for 4 on Friday, 0 for 2 yesterday, and Buxton starts him off with a fastball through there. 4 strike 1. Barnes .306 average, no homers, 2 RBIs. And fastball hit back towards Buxton. He'll jump up and glove it and take a couple steps and flip to first base. And Matt Barnes will be retired for the first out. I'll bring up shortstop Andre Demetral. Demetral off to a slow start on the season, 3 hits and 16 at-bats. And he had 1 hit in Friday night's game. It was 0 for 4 yesterday, for 1 for 7 on the weekend for Demetral. And that's a strike through there. 4 strike 1 from Buxton. We'll set the defense for you for the Bisons after this next pitch, as Buxton is working quickly, as we've seen most of these Bison pitchers do all weekend. That's a strike through there, strike 2. So quickly, Demetral in a hole, 0-2. Maxwell in left field today, Houghton in center, Shields in right. The infield is Will Hoyt at third, Ketchup at second, Ketchup at short, Stamps at second, Williams at first. And he swings through that one. It's going to hit in the dirt. And catcher Chaz Bernalani caught it cleanly, so that'll go down as a swinging strikeout. First strikeout of the day for Buxton and second out of the inning. And quickly with 2 down, it'll be Eric Arado, the sophomore right fielder. Arado batting .314 on the season, no homers and 5 RBIs. Was 0 for 3 on Friday, but was 2 for 4 yesterday with a couple RBIs and scored a run. So he'll bat now with 2 outs and the base is empty. He is one of those 2 left-handed hitters that'll be in the lineup against Buxton today. And first pitch will miss outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Aaron Harper waits on deck if Arado can extend the inning here. That's a fastball that'll catch the inside corner, ball and a strike. So Buxton typically with a fastball and a sinker and a changeup. He'll throw a slider some as well, but his fastball is his money pitch. It's a mid-90s pitch that'll run up 95, 96 miles per hour. That's going to be an off-speed pitch missing outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. So you'll see Buxton challenge these Huskies hitters with a lot of velocity today. He likes to throw the fastball and come right at people. And there's a fastball catching the inside corner, 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, base is empty in the top of the first inning. No score between Northern Illinois and Lipscomb. And he swings through that one, strike 3. So Buxton, 2 strikeouts in the inning, nothing doing for the Huskies. We head to the bottom half of the first. No score between Northern Illinois and Lipscomb. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. We head to the home half of the first inning. No score between Northern Illinois and Lipscomb. And on the mound for the Huskies today, sophomore left-hander Connor Landgrader, 6'1", 190-pound youngster out of West De Pierre, Wisconsin, which is the same high school as the catcher, Caden Kosabucky, I believe. On the season, Landgrader 0-0 with a 9.39 ERA. We mentioned he's made 2 appearances. He started 1 game. He's worked 7 2/3 innings, given up 8 hits, 8 runs, 8 of which were earned. 6 walks, 6 strikeouts, and opponents are batting .276 against Connor Landgrader. And the Bisons will send a lineup that also features 2 left-handed batters. And one of those left-handed batters is John Shields, the leadoff hitter, who comes in batting .292 with 2 home runs and 6 RBIs. And Shields, the big hero of Friday night's game, his 8th inning grand slam home run put the Bisons ahead, and they held on for that 8-7 win. And the first pitch from Landgrader is going to stay inside and miss for ball 1. 2 nights in a row, these 2 teams have played a back-and-forth game, and twice the Bisons have rallied in the bottom of the 8th inning. They put up 6 runs on Friday night and 5 runs in Saturday's game to come back and win. Each time the Huskies have battled back in the 9th inning as well, as that one misses downstairs for ball 2. Friday's game, the Huskies scored a single run in the 9th and had the tying and winning runs on base, or go-ahead runs, and Matthew Maldonado came in to shut the door and secure the 8-7 win for Lipscomb. Yesterday's ball game, the Bisons led 8-6 and gave up a run in the 9th. Or correction, led 7-6, gave up a run in the 9th to tie it 7-7, and then the Bisons walked it off in the bottom of the 9th inning with Rudy Maxwell with an RBI base hit. That one missed as well, and it's 3 balls, no strikes to leadoff hitter John Shields. The 3-1 right through there for a strike, 3 balls and 1 strike. Defensively for the Huskies, Peters is in left, Barnes in center, Arado in right. Harper's at third, Demetral at short, McCormick at second, Kennedy at first. Behind the plate today, Kosabucky. First time we've seen him behind the plate. He's been the designated hitter for each of the first 2. And that's going to just miss inside, breaking ball for ball 4. So Shields draws a leadoff base on balls. And he'll be aboard for Maddox Houghton, the center fielder. Maddox batting .333, 1 homer and 5 RBIs. Didn't play in Friday's game as he was still recovering from being hit in the face by a pitch in Wednesday's game against Belmont, but he came back yesterday and came back indeed, 2 for 4 on the day with a run scored for Maddox Houghton. And he hit the ball hard all day long, so showed no ill effects from that scary moment in Wednesday's game in Belmont. His very first at bat in the first inning was hit in the face with a pitch and exited the game, so good to see Maddox back in the lineup. He shows bunt, pulls off, snap throw to first, and Shields is going to get back. The ball missed for ball 1. Third baseman Harper is creeping up on the edge of the grass. Double play depth up the middle. We'll see if the Bisons elect to keep the bunt on here. Shields runs well. He's 5 out of 5 in stolen base attempts on the season. Houghton not bunting, swings through that one for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Some really good defensive plays made yesterday. Harper at third and Demetral at short. Each have really flashed the leather and showed some excellent defense, as the Huskies overall have played solid defense in this series. Houghton shows bunt, pulls off a breaking ball, and it goes for a strike. So that'll be a ball and 2 strikes. You'd have to think that likely would change the strategy here. So Shields your runner at first, Maddox Houghton batting, Trace Wilhoit on deck. Bottom of the first inning, no score between Lipscomb and Northern Illinois. Landgrader gets set to bring the 1-2. Swung on and hit foul, straight back. The count will remain a ball and 2 strikes. It's the 3rd season for Landgrader at Northern Illinois. In 2020, he made 2 relief appearances. 2021, he had 14 appearances on the mound, 11 starts. He had a 4-4 record and led the Huskies with 63 strikeouts last season. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Maddox Houghton. Swings and taps it foul down the third base line. It's a lot of spin on that ball, but it drifts foul, and so the count will remain a ball and 2 strikes. Perhaps most importantly, I can share with you that Connor Landgrader was named to the Academic All-Mid-American Conference team last year, so congratulations to this young man for outstanding performance in the classroom. Several of the Huskies that had that designation, so it's clear that they emphasize the academics, and we tip our cap to them for that. Here comes the 1-2, runner going. It's way over the head of Kosabucky. Shields is going to round second, but he's not going to go to third, so he was running on the pitch. Think he had a good chance to steal it anyway, but the count will be 2-2 as Shields still second base. So he'll be in scoring position with nobody out. Maddox Houghton at the 2-2 count. That was a fastball that just got away from him. Went high over the head, and it may have been crossed up a little bit as well. Kosobucky seemed late to react to that one. Here comes the 2-2. Swung on and hit in the air towards center field. Barnes going back, still going back towards the wall, looking up there, and it's just over his glove. He's not going to catch it. Shields had to hold up, and now he's heading around third. He's coming into the score, and Maddox Houghton will be at third base with a stand-up triple. Houghton hit that ball to the deepest part of the ballpark, 400 feet straight away center field. Barnes saw it off the bat, kept going back, and had his back almost turned to home plate, and it just got over his glove and hit the wall. Shields held up to make sure the ball wasn't caught. He scored easily, but Houghton, with good speed, never slowed up and motors all the way to third base. So the Bisons take a 1-0 lead, and Trace Wilhoit is now up batting. Wilhoit coming in batting .229 on the season, and he looks at a fastball on the outside edge for the first strike. Trace 1 homer, 4 RBIs. Friday's game, he had 3 hits and 5 trips. Yesterday he was 0 for 3. So 3 for 8 on the weekend. And the 0-1 swung on and hit deep foul. That's going to stay foul. He jumped all over that breaking ball, and the count will be 0-2. On Wilhoit, Malik Williams waits on deck. Wilhoit did walk a couple of times in yesterday's ball game and scored a run. He's got a chance to pick up an RBI here. The infield playing back early in the ball game. Here comes the 0-2. Fastball stays high. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Wilhoit. So the Huskies will concede the run to get an out here. There are no outs in the inning, and Houghton with good speed at third base. Lipscomb leading 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. Curveball. Got him. Strike 3. That was a beauty. He really snapped that one off. Started it outside, but it came across the outside corner of the plate. Wilhoit is down on strikes. That'll bring up Malik Williams. Williams batting an even .300 on the season. 3 home runs, 13 RBIs. He was 2 for 4 in Friday's game, and he followed that up with a 2 for 5 performance and a couple RBIs in yesterday's game. Did have an extra base hit with a double in Friday's game. So Malik's had a good weekend, and he bats here with 1 out and a runner at third. Fastball will miss low and inside for ball 1. First baseman Kennedy has shifted way off the first base line. You should be able to see in your screen. So the second baseman McCormick almost straight up the middle. So they've got a bit of a shift on here on Malik Williams. Here comes the 1-0. Breaking ball catches the corner. Same pitch that he got Wilhoit on, and that's a ball and a strike. It's interesting with that alignment. We've certainly seen Malik use the opposite field a lot, particularly when he gets down in the count. But the Huskies are shading him to the pull side as he awaits the 1-1 from Connor Landgrader. Swung on and hit towards right field. Arado going back, drifting over to the warning track. He's going to catch it there. Houghton is going to tag up and jog home, and that'll be the second run of the day as Malik Williams drives an RBI sacrifice fly. Maddox Houghton scores the second Bison's run of the day. They take a 2-0 lead, and they're now 2 outs for Rudy Maxwell. Rudy comes in batting .350, 1 homer and 6 RBIs, and he's the big hero of yesterday's game. He came up in the bottom of the 9th inning, and with 2 outs, had the walk-off base hit to send the Bisons home with an 8-7 win. I believe that was a 2-strike hit as well, so Maxwell with a good piece of hitting to drive that ball to right field. He hits the first pitch on the ground to Harper at third. He's up with it. High throw. It's going to pull Kennedy off the bag, and he's going to be safe. Looked like he might have lost his footing a little bit over there. The infield has been wet down before the game, and Harper gloved it easily, but kind of looked a little awkward as he came up to throw that ball. So that'll go down as an error, and that'll allow Maxwell to reach base on the error. First error on the day for the Huskies. We mentioned the Bisons committing 6 errors yesterday, and I don't know that I've ever seen a baseball game where a team that committed 6 errors came away victorious, but the Bisons did indeed yesterday. So Mason Lundgren, the designated hitter, will bat with 2 outs and a runner on first. The fastball will stay high. Mason's off to a terrific start. He's batting .370, the highest average on the team. No homers and 8 RBIs. His pinch hitter in Friday's game walked and scored a run, and then in yesterday's game, designated hitter, he was 3 for 4 with 2 RBI. So he has really been swinging it well. Off to a great start in his first Bison season. Breaking ball will stay outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Bertolani waits on deck if Lundgren can extend the inning here. Bison's leading 2-0 in the bottom of the first, after Ike Buxton retired the side in order in the top of the first. Here comes the 2-0 from Landgrader. Fastball will catch the inside corner there, 2-1. So in this inning, Shields started with a walk. He stole second, and Maddox Houghton drove him home with a triple off the wall in center field. Will Hoyt was out on strikes, and then Malik Williams hit a sacrifice fly to right, and Rudy Maxwell has reached on an error, and that's going to be strike 2 there. Good position for that fastball, outside corner and low. And the count will even now, 2 balls, 2 strikes on Mason Lundgren. See if they elect to send Rudy Maxwell. He does not have a stolen base on the season. He's running on the 2-2 pitch outside, and Kosabuki looked like it got stuck in his glove a little bit there. So that'll be Rudy Maxwell's first stolen base of the season, first stolen base of his Bison's career. And the count has now gone full on Mason Lundgren. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bisons have already got 2 runs home here in the bottom of the first, which they did in Friday night's game. They scored 2 in the bottom of the first, and then they didn't score again until that 6-run 8th inning. Yesterday's game, they didn't score until the 4th. So here comes the payoff pitch. Swung on and tapped to the left side. It's going to get past the diving Dimitrol. They're going to wave Maxwell. Here comes the throw from Peters. It's going to be up the line, and heading to second with an RBI single is Mason Lundgren. Well, one thing you have to like about that for Lundgren is 2 strikes, and he saw an away pitch. He went with it, didn't try to do too much with it. Hit it between third baseman Harper and the shortstop Dimitrol. Peters got to it, had a chance, but his throw was offline, and so the Bisons have pushed across their 3rd run of the game. They lead 3-0, and Chaz Bertolani will now bat with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. Bertolani batting .250 on the season, 5 hits and 20 trips, no homers, 3 RBIs. Didn't play in yesterday's game, or actually came in as a defensive replacement late in the game. Did get the start at catcher on Friday, and that's one's going to skip up and it's going to hit him. So that looked like a fastball that just got in the dirt, bounced straight up and hit Bertolani. And we'll have a mound visit here as Connor Landgrader had really good control early in the inning. Seems to be a bit rattled at the moment. So Bertolani will be at first, Mason Lundgren at second, and Ethan Stamps will be hitting when play resumes. We've mentioned on our other broadcast that the Huskies of Northern Illinois in the midst of an extended road trip to start their 2022 campaign. They started their season at Sacramento State in the first weekend, played 4 ball games out there, 2 of which were quite close games. They lost a 2-0 decision and then lost 10-9. They played a 4-game series last weekend at Murray State. Again, one of those a 1-run ball game at 7-6, and then they've played 2 1-run ball games here against Lipscomb. They'll head next weekend to play Ohio. Conference action. That's on the road at Athens, Ohio, a 4-game series. And then they'll play at Akron as well before a single game against Purdue in the midweek, and then finally hosting Kent State March 25, 26, and 27. So an extended road trip for the start of the season for this Huskies team as they start the 2022 campaign. Ethan Stamps stands in there with 2 on, 2 out. He swings and hits it on the ground. Third baseman Harper's going to glove it. He's going to get up and throw to first, and he's going to retire him. Nice play there. So Stamps hit the first pitch hard, but Harper was up to the task, and he'll retire Stamps for the 3rd out of the inning. But the Bisons do some damage. They score 3 runs on 2 hits. There was 1 error, and they did leave 2 men on base. We've played 1 inning. Your score, Lipscomb 3 and Northern Illinois nothing. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. We head to the top half of the second inning. Ike Buxton back out on the mound. He recorded 3 straight outs in the first inning, 2 of which were swinging strikeouts, and he'll face 4, 5, and 6 with Harper, Kosabucky, and Combs for the Huskies here in the second inning. Harper was the young man who just made that terrific play in the bottom of the first. He's a sophomore batting .250, 1 home run, 6 RBIs. That's the only home run that the Huskies have on the season thus far. Friday's game, Harper was 2 for 4 with an RBI. And yesterday was 1 for 3. Looks at a fastball on the inside corner for 0-1. So, as with many pitchers, one of the keys for Buxton just getting ahead early in the count. And if he can throw that fastball for strikes early in the count, he's very, very effective. And he swings and hits this one foul down the third base line. And again, he's ahead now of Harper. No balls, 2 strikes. Friday night's action, the Bisons put up 2 in the first inning. And then it was all Huskies, 1 in the third, 3 in the fifth, 2 more in the top of the eighth, and they went to the bottom of the eighth leading 6-2. That's way outside for ball 1. But the Bisons rallied in the bottom of the eighth, which, as we mentioned, the big blow, the grand slam off the bat of John Shields. They went to the ninth leading 8-6. The Huskies pressed across 1 and had the bases loaded with 1 out, but Matthew Maldonado came in and shut the door and got the save, recording a couple of strikeouts and preserving an 8-7 win. Buxton's now missed with 3 in a row after going 0-2. Count now is full on Harper. 3 balls, 2 strikes. In that Friday night action, the Bisons out-hit the Huskies 10-5. That swung on and fouled at the plate. But as we mentioned, the Huskies with some very timely hitting with runners in scoring position. They also benefited from total of 15 walks issued by the Bison's pitching staff on Friday night. Here comes the payoff, and he swings and fouls it at the plate again. The count will remain 3-2. So, entertaining ball game on Friday, and once again the same script on Saturday. Northern Illinois jumped out, put a single run on in the first and the second. Bison's tied it in the bottom of the fourth, and then Northern Illinois 2 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth, and added a single 1 in the eighth. They went in leading 6-2. That's going to miss high for ball 4, and so Harper comes back and works an at-bat to draw a walk. Nice at-bat from Harper. That'll bring up Caden Kosabucky. Kosabucky, the leading average on the team, .368, no homers and 3 RBIs. In Friday's game, he was 0 for 1, but walked 3 times and scored a run. And then in yesterday's game, he was 1 for 3 and also had a walk. So he's been on base a lot this weekend, has Caden Kosabucky, a freshman out of West De Pere, Wisconsin, 5'8", 180 pounds, same high school as Connor Landgrader, and he looks at a ball inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Combs has been the catcher for the first 2 games in the series, and he trades places with Kosabucky today, who will do the catching while Combs goes to the DH role. That's a fastball in the outside corner, and it'll be a ball and a strike on Caden Kosabucky. And the aforementioned Scott Combs waits on deck. Again, tip your cap to this Huskies team. They have continued to battle all weekend, including these 9th innings. After going down, it's a fastball high. In Saturday's game, we mentioned they were leading 6-2. The Bisons put up 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning and led the ball game 7-6, but the Huskies tacked on and tied the game in the top of the 9th to 7-7 score. That one misses downstairs, and Buxton's gone 3-1 on Kosabucky. So it was 7-7 going to the bottom of the 9th, but the Bisons got a couple runners on and then got the RBI walk-off base hit from Rudy Maxwell. So again, this Huskies team shown some late inning fight and has put together some good at-bats throughout the weekend. Here comes the 3-1 pitch, and that's through there. Kosabucky thought it might be a little high, but it's going to run the count full, 3-2. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. Harper, your runner at first. Harper's 4 for 5 on stolen bases in the season, so we'll see if they put him in motion here with a full count on Kosabucky. He's not going, and he swings and hits it up the middle. Ketchup is going to glove it. He's going to step on second for 1 and throw to first, and that's a double play. So the pitcher's best friend erases the leadoff base runner, and now with 2 outs and the bases empty, Scott Combs will bat. Combs comes in batting .250, no homers and 3 RBIs. He's 1 for 3 in Friday's game, and then 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs in Saturday's game. And he takes high ball 1. His at bat in the 8th inning in Saturday's game was 1 for the ages. He got down 2 strikes and was unhappy with the call on strike 2, but then he came back and down on 2 strikes, punched a base hit in to tie the game, and he hits this one in the gap in right center field, and he's got himself another base hit. That's going to roll all the way out toward the wall. Houghton's going to cut it off. He's heading towards second. Throw's going to come in. He's going to get him. Or not. Let's see. The ball must have hit the ground. I believe the ball must have kicked out of the glove because he was beaten to the base by the ball. Great throw from Maddox Houghton. He got there quickly, turned and made a great throw. But Combs slid in, and I believe the ball must have gotten out for the tag. So we'll credit him with a double. That's the first hit of the Huskies on the day off of Ike Buxton, and Combs continues with his hot weekend that he's had here in Nashville. He likes hitting the ball in Nashville, it appears. Baxton Kennedy comes up. He's only had 9 at-bats on the season, 1 hit. He's a left-handed hitter. Will bat now with 2 outs and a runner at second. Takes low and inside for ball 1. Kennedy was a pinch hitter in Friday's game. Did not have an at-bat, and then swings through that one for strike 1. He also came in and played at first base, but and had 1 at-bat and drew a walk in yesterday's game. So he's appeared in both games, but yet to record an official at-bat. 1-1 pitch from Buxton. Swings and hits it on the ground towards Malik Williams at first. He'll glove it and run over and retire him unassisted for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Huskies pick up their first hit, but they strand a runner and don't score. And as we head to the bottom of the 2nd inning, your score, Lipscomb 3, Northern Illinois 0. You're watching Lipscomb Bison's Baseball on YouTube Live. Bottom half of inning number 2. It'll be the 9th man in the order, Caleb Ketchup, and then back to the top with John Shields and Maddox Houghton to face left-hander Connor Landgrader. Landgrader was touched up for 3 runs in the 1st inning, giving up a couple of base hits, one of which was a triple off the bat of Maddox Houghton. Also had a sacrifice fly from Malik Williams. So Ketchup stands in. Caleb has 4 hits and 29 at-bats to start the season. Does lead the Bisons with 6 stolen bases out of 7 attempts. So he'll bat here to start the bottom of the 2nd. Lipscomb leading Northern Illinois 3-0 in the final game of this 3-game series between the 2 teams. Ketchup showing bunt, and I believe he's going to foul that one off. Let's see, did he get a piece of it? I guess he did not, so that'll be a ball and no strikes. Third baseman Harper was thinking bunt. He's playing a step or 2 in front of the bag at third. First baseman Kennedy a step or 2 in front of his normal position. Swinging away, and that one misses inside, and that'll be 2 balls, no strikes on Ketchup. Ketchup still looking for his first base hit of the weekend. He's 0 for 7 on the weekend. It did hit the ball hard a couple of times yesterday, but didn't have anything to show for it with a couple of line outs to the outfield, 1 to left and 1 to center. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Swings through that one. Looks like an off-speed pitch that he didn't get, and that's 2-1. Landgrader's shown us a really good changeup so far to go along with his fastball. Third baseman Harper's now backed up to even to the bag, trying to read the hands, and he shows bunt, and I believe he did foul that one at the plate. That leaving the count at 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes on Ketchup. 9th man in the order as the Bison sent 8 men to the plate in the 1st inning to pick up those 3 runs. Got 2 hits on the day. The Huskies have a single hit. And here comes the 2-2 pitch to Ketchup. That's going to miss outside, and that'll run the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Top of the order, and John Shields waits on deck. Ketchup, a redshirt freshman, transferred from the University of Georgia. He's playing his first season here in Lipscomb, and he'll have a homecoming of sorts next weekend as the Bisons go to Athens to play 3 games against the Georgia Bulldogs. Here comes the 3-2. He hits it high in the air to shallow center field. Coming in is Barnes. He's calling everybody off, and he will get it there for the first out of the inning. So Ketchup is retired, and that'll bring up John Shields. Shields walked, stole the base, and scored a run back in the first. He's batting .292 on the season. Again, had that big blow in Friday night's game with an opposite field grand slam. John hit a ball that kept carrying and just kept carrying, and it got out over the left center field wall as the Bisons had that big rally for 6 runs in the bottom of the 8th to come away with an 8-7 win. It's the first pitch he sees, fastball foul and out of play to the third base side. It'll be 0-1 on John Shields. John's off to really good starts, played some good defense in right field. He is a senior, and he hails from Tampa, Florida. Was previously at the State College of Florida prior to coming to Lipscomb. And he's going to miss off the plate there with a fastball. 1 ball and 1 strikes on Shields with Maddox Houghton on deck. Right fielder Rado really deep in right. They're respecting Shields' power to the pull side there. And the 1-1 swings through that changeup. So that's been his most effective pitch thus far. He has really baffled the hitters with that changeup when he's been able to throw it close to the zone. So he's got Shields in 1-ball, 2-strike count with 1 out. Bottom half second inning, Lipscomb leading Northern Illinois 3-0. And here comes the 1-2. Fastball is going to stay inside and high, and that'll make the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Grader working from the stretch, even though there's no one on base. Here comes the 2-2. That's a curveball that just missed inside. It did stay inside, and so the count will run full at 3-2 on Shields. So Land Grader's thrown 34 pitches thus far with an inning and a third, giving up just 2 hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Northern Illinois used 3 pitchers on Friday and 4 on yesterday's game, so you'd have to think they've still got a lot of arms available. Here comes the payoff pitch, swung on and hit foul on the left side. That'll make it over the bullpen and toward the parking lot. And the count will remain at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Friday's game, they got a 6-inning start out of Reagan Claywitter. And then Kyle Seaback, terrific start yesterday for the Huskies. 6 2/3 innings, giving up 2 earned runs, walking 2 and striking out 4. So 2 very solid starts for the Huskies. Here comes the payoff pitch, swung on and hit in the air towards left field. Peters drifting over toward the line, still drifting over, and then he's going to catch it there as the wind kind of kept pushing that ball away from him. So Shields will fly out for the second out of the inning, and with 2 outs and the bases empty will be Maddox Houghton. He had an RBI triple in his first at-bat today. Ball hit to straightaway center field. It went off the wall, got just over the glove of the center fielder Barnes. Maddox now up to 357 on the season. Got 1 home run, and that came in his very first at-bat of the season. He led off the bottom of the first inning of the Bison's first home game with a solo home run. And that's a fastball that'll catch the outside corner. Good arm side action on that fastball, running away from the right-handed hitting Houghton. Trace Wilhoit waits on deck and would be next if Houghton can extend the inning here with 2 outs and the bases empty in the bottom of the second. Breaking ball must have stayed high. It was over the plate, but looks high. It's a ball and a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that fastball will stay high as well. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, Houghton, a very disciplined hitter. You see him not swinging at a lot of pitches outside the zone, and that comes from a guy who's played a lot of college baseball. He's a very experienced player in his 5th season here in Nashville. And the 2-1 almost hit him. That was skipping at his feet, so it's 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, and the base is empty. As we play here in the bottom of the second inning, the Bisons put up 3 in the bottom of the first, and they lead this one 3-0. Swings through the 3-1. That might have been the changeup again. That'll run the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Trace Wilhoit again waits on deck. If Houghton can reach and extend the inning here. And he'll await the payoff pitch from Connor Landgrader. And that was a curveball that just missed outside. So that'll be the second walk of the day for Landgrader. And that'll put Maddox out on the board with 2 outs, and Trace Wilhoit will come out. He was called out on strikes back in the first inning. Maddox out in 2 for 2 in stolen bases on the season. 6 for 7 on stolen bases in the 2021 campaign. So he runs selectively, but runs well when he does. So we'll see how Bisons elect to play it here with Wilhoit batting. Second baseman McCormick pulled up the middle, and that's a fastball through there for a strike. 0-1 to Wilhoit. So again, defensive shift on McCormick. A couple of steps to the first base side of the bag at second, but very much shaded that way. They're giving Wilhoit a big hole over on the right side if he's able to do something the other way here. And they'll throw over lightly to Maddox Houghton. Not what we would call the A move there. Certainly wasn't his pickoff move. It was more just of a reminder that I'm thinking about you and I got you in my sights type move there. Houghton with a generous lead against the left-hander Landgrader. And they're going to chase him back again. Again, sort of a soft throw. The Huskies stole 5 bases in yesterday's game. The Bisons didn't steal a single bag. That comes after stealing 2 in Friday's game. And there is Wilhoit hitting right through the gap we just talked about. Base hit into right field. Houghton's going to round second and go all the way to third. And that's a base hit by Trace Wilhoit. So he did exactly what we talked about. Went the other way with that pitch. Big hole on the right side. And Houghton was running and will advance to third base. And Trace Wilhoit has the 4th Bison's hit of the day. Or correction, 3rd Bison's hit of the day. And that'll bring up Malik Williams. Malik hit a sacrifice fly back in the first inning. A deep ball to right field that drove home Houghton with the second run of the game. And runners at the corners now with 2 outs. And Wilhoit 0 for 1 on steals on the season. Malik hits this one high in the air off to the left side, coming over near the dugout, and that's going to drift into the stands. So there'll be no play there for Harper, the 3rd baseman. So it'll be a no ball, 1 strike count on Malik Williams. That was a high fastball, and that one looked good to him, and he had a big hack at it and fouled it off. So it's 0-1. And similar defensive alignment here on Williams is what we talked about for Wilhoit. So there is a big gap. McCormick has pulled almost up the middle. Big hole on the right side if Malik could go the other way. That's a breaking ball that'll miss downstairs and leaving the count at a ball and a strike. Rudy Maxwell, hero of yesterday's game, race on deck for the Bisons. Lipscomb leads 3-0 here in the bottom of the second, but they're threatening to add with runners on the corners and 2 outs. That one's going to skip up there, and that's going to get a run home. So Kosabucky, not much chance on that one. It was almost behind the batter, and that'll be a wild pitch that'll allow Houghton to score from third base. Wilhoit will jog down to second, and the Bisons put up their 4th run of the day, lead 4-0. Be a 2-ball, 1 strike count on Malik Williams. I think that was a breaking ball that he just held on to a little too long, and it spiked behind him. Kosabucky dove over, tried to block it, but it got by him quickly, skipping off the dirt. And Houghton with good speed will advance home on that wild pitch. So 2 balls, 1 strike to Malik Williams. That's going to be inside as well, and it's now 3-1 on Malik. So gone to a number of 3-ball counts. Landgrader at 49 pitches here, and they're still in the second inning. So it seems likely the bullpen's going to get some work today for the Northern Illinois Huskies. Comes the 3-1, and that's going to miss downstairs as well. Looked like a changeup there, but with first base open, that's almost an intentional, unintentional walk there because they're not going to give in to the bat of Malik Williams, and so that'll put runners first and second, and Rudy Maxwell will be to the plate. It'll be the third walk of the day for Connor Landgrader, and Rudy Maxwell will come in. He reached via an error in the first inning. Rudy batting .341 on the young season, first year in a Bison's uniform, graduate transfer, previously played at Duke. He looks at a breaking ball in there for strike one. Maxwell from Nashville, went to Innsworth High School here in Nashville, so a local young man coming back to play his final season of college ball after playing the previous couple seasons in the ACC at Duke. He's been doing some catching, been playing in left field, but his bat has kept him in the lineup. And he awaits the 0-1. Swung on and hit back into left field. They're going to wave Wilhoit around third. He's going to come home and score, and Malik Williams is going to get to third, and Rudy Maxwell has another RBI. So second base hit of the inning, and Rudy Maxwell has driven in another run. He's at first. Malik Williams got all the way to third, and Mason Lundgren comes up, and Lundgren had one of those RBIs in the first inning with a single to the opposite side, and so he's got a chance to do more damage with 2 outs and runners on the corners. If you saw Rudy looking a little bit awkward going around first, he was wearing an ankle guard, and I think it came loose, and he was kind of dragging it along, so he had to kind of hop back into first base to keep from tripping himself up on that ankle guard. That's a curveball that's going to get the inside corner against Lundgren, 0-1. So a little bit of an awkward gallop that he made back to first, but that's what was going on. Thought at first he might have hurt himself, pulled a hamstring or something, but he was just trying to avoid a faceplant over there. Maxwell running at first, Williams running at third. No balls, 1 strike to Mason Lundgren, and that hit him. Not sure where it caught him. Might have been on the shoulder or the neck area there. Lundgren is going to be aboard. That'll put Maxwell down to second and Lundgren to first. So the bases will be loaded for Chaz Bertolani. Bertolani was hit by a pitch back in the first inning, so that's the second batter that's been hit. And there also been 3 walks from Connor Landgrader, and we're seeing some activity down in the Huskies bullpen already. From our vantage point, we can't get a number for you, but there's at least a couple of pitchers that appear to be getting hot pretty quickly. So bases loaded now for Bertolani with 2 outs. Bison's already leading 5-0 here in the bottom half of the second inning. But the way these first 2 games of this series have gone, you got to feel no lead is ever safe. The late innings have been where all the heroics are. So Bisons would love to continue to add to that lead. Bases loaded, 2 outs for Bertolani, and Landgrader is going to work from the stretch, and he misses downstairs with a fastball. 1 ball, no strikes. Bertolani hit by a pitch, first time up, batting .250 on the season. No homers, 3 RBIs, but he's got a chance to add to that total right here if he is able to execute. That one's going to get off the glove of Kosabucky and go all the way to the screen, and Malik Williams is going to get home. Not sure if they'll score that as a wild pitch or a pass ball, but nonetheless, Malik Williams will come in, 3rd run of the inning, 6th overall for the Bisons. Max will advance to 3rd. Lundgren will advance to 2nd. And the count will be 1 ball, no strikes on Bertolani. That's going to miss outside as well. 2 balls and no strikes. Noted the last couple of days that Chaz's grandparents are here, Mike and Joanne Bertolani, and they are both graduates of Northern Illinois University. I believe that's where they met back a couple of years ago, but they're here cheering for their grandson Chaz, who's a Lipscomb Bison, and he's got a 3 ball, no strike count right now with runners at 2nd and 3rd and 2 outs. And he looks at that one right through there, 3 balls and a strike. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Bison's already with 3 runs home this inning. They've stretched their lead to 6-0 here. We're just in the bottom of the second. hits this one on the ground to Harper at third. He's going to glove it, throw to first. It's going to pull Kennedy off the bag, but he does a nice job coming back and making the tag. So Kennedy bails out Harper on that one, and that will retire Bertolani on the ground out for the third out of the inning. But the Bisons do some damage. They score 3 runs on 2 hits. There was an error, or correction, no errors, and they did leave 2 men on base. They've stranded 4 just in the first 2 innings. But they've put up a total of 6 runs, and our score headed to the third inning is Lipscomb 6 and Northern Illinois 0. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. We had the top half of the third inning. 6 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Lipscomb Bisons. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error for the Northern Illinois Huskies. They'll send up 8, 9, and 1, which is McCormick, Peters, and the top of the order Barnes to face Ike Buxton. Ike so far has just given up 1 hit. He's walked 1 and struck out 2 in 2 innings. He's thrown 28 pitches so far, and McCormick will stand in. Junior second baseman, and getting the start today. Hits the first pitch foul, be 0-1. Came in as a defensive replacement in Friday's game, did not have an at-bat, and started and went 0 for 5 in yesterday's game. He's got 3 hits and 24 trips on the season for Patty McCormick. Swings and hits this one foul as well, and Buxton gets ahead 0-2. So certainly something that you want to see your pitchers do after they score those runs, put up a big inning, come right back out and pound the zone, pitch to contact. And Buxton has done that to get ahead 0-2. Here comes the 0-2. Slider just off the plate. Good spot, but it was just outside, and that'll make it a ball and 2 strikes. To Patty McCormick. Second baseman Stamps has swung up the middle, as you can see on your screen. Here comes the 1-2 slider that he hits foul. And that'll keep the count at a ball and 2 strikes. And when Buxton can throw that slider for a strike to go along with that electric fastball, he can be really tough, particularly on these right-handed hitters. Here comes his 1-2, and he swings and taps this one to the mound. Buxton's going to glove it. He's going to flip to first, and they'll retire McCormick for the first out of the inning. Bring up Malik Peters, the left fielder, who hit a solo home run his first at bat in yesterday's game. He ended up 1 for 2 on the day, scored a couple runs, had 2 RBIs. He's on base also with a walk. He had gone 0 for 1 and walked a couple times in Friday's game, and that's going to be in there for a strike, 0-1. Peters has played some terrific left field. Very, very speedy youngster who can cover some ground out there. That's going to miss downstairs, 1-1. Almost made an incredible catch in yesterday's game, running way to his left, laying out, and the ball skipped past him. But he is a fine-looking defender out there. That's going to miss downstairs, 2-1. And he showed some surprising power. Ball that he had out of the yard yesterday was a line shot that got out in a hurry. So good-looking tool set on this junior Malik Peters. That'll miss downstairs as well. And that's 3-1 now that Buxton goes on Peters. Top of the order Barnes waiting on deck. Three balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Top of the third inning. Lipscomb leading Northern Illinois 6-0. And Ike Buxton gone all the way for the Bisons. Here's his 3-1 pitch. He swings through the fastball there, 3-2. So we'll catch up on the ASUN scoreboard. Before we do, we'll talk about the standings. Remember, 2 divisions in the ASUN this year, the East and the West Division. Here's the payoff. Swung on and hit on the ground towards Stamps at second. He gloves it, throws to first, and Peters will be retired for the second out of the inning on that 4-3 ground out. Back to the top, and Matt Barnes, who grounded out on his first at bat. So In the ASUN East, a couple of teams off to an excellent start. In fact, 4 of them are. Liberty's off to a 9-1 start, ranked in the top 20. Florida Gulf Coast 9-2, Kennesaw State 8-2, and Jacksonville 8-3. So all 4 of those clubs off to a terrific start in the spring campaign. Fastball catches the outside corner, 0-1. Stetson's at 5-5, and North Florida struggled out of the gate. They're 2-10. He swings and taps this one foul and be 0-2. In yesterday's action, Liberty defeated Canisius 14-3. Florida Gulf Coast blanked Seton Hall 12-0. Kennesaw State won on the road at Troy 9-4. Jacksonville beat Butler 11-3. Stetson dropped a 4-0 decision to Bethune-Cookman, and North Florida was defeated by Boston College 10-4. That was yesterday's ASUN action. That's a slider just downstairs. Buxton was starting to walk to the dugout, thought he had him struck out, and that's a 1-ball, 2-strike count on Matt Barnes, the leadoff hitter. So the east side's got some teams playing really good baseball in the ASUN here this spring. Here comes the 1-2. He hits it to the right side, slicing down the line. Shields giving chase, but he's not going to get there. It's going to hit off the facing of the bullpen wall. So Barnes will stay alive at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Big midweek matchups this week, as Liberty's going to be on the road or actually hosting North Carolina. And Jacksonville, that game will be on March the 8th. Jacksonville will host Butler. Jacksonville will host Florida on Tuesday, so a couple of big non-conference matchups there for those teams. He swings and hits this one toward Ketchup at short. He has to back up, loses his footing, throws on the back foot, and is bailed out by Malik Williams. So awkward-looking throw there, but Ketchup gets enough on it to Malik Williams, who's able to glove it for the 3rd out in the inning. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Ike Buxton, and we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Your score, Lipscomb 6, Northern Illinois 0. You're watching Lipscomb Bison's Baseball on YouTube Live. We've had a pitching change for the Northern Illinois Huskies as we head to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. The junior right-hander, Nick Bonk, 6'7", 215-pound youngster out of Buffalo Grove, Illinois. On the season, he's got a record of no wins and 1 loss, an ERA of 9.00. He's worked 2 innings, given up 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, walked 2, and struck out 1. And he's on a relief of Connor Landgrader, who will end up going just the first 2 innings. So Bonk takes over for Landgrader, and he'll face Ethan Stamps. Stamps grounded out back in the 1st inning. He's batting .280 on the season. And he swings and hits the first pitch he sees foul, 0-1. Nick Bonk is in his 4th season for the Huskies. 2019, he appeared in 6 games, made 4 starts. 2020, he made 2 relief appearances, and that one's through there for strike 2, so he's ahead of Ethan Stamps, 0-2. In 2021, he had 8 appearances. He did make 1 start late in the season on May 2nd against Akron. So he's on trying to hold it right here for the Huskies, and that's a breaking ball that's going to miss down in the dirt, and they'll take the count to a ball and 2 strikes on Stamps. Caleb Ketchup waits on deck as 8, 9, and 1 here For the Bisons in the bottom half of the third inning, they're leading 6-0 over Northern Illinois. Third game of a 3-game series. First 2 games have within carbon copies of each other. 8-7 Bison wins, featuring a lot of heroics in the bottom of the 8th inning. So here comes the 1-2 to Stamps. Breaking ball just missed inside. That was a good pitch, but he didn't get the call. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes to Ethan Stamps. Second baseman McCormick again, heavily up the middle. Here comes the 2-2, and it's hit just right up that way. He takes a couple steps to his right, throws off the back foot. It's going to be scooped up by Kennedy, and so the shift works as Stamps will ground out 4-3. Even though McCormick fielded that ball to the third base side of second base from his position, he was able to get to it. So that would have been a base hit were he not playing in that position. I'll bring up Caleb Ketchup, who flew out to right field in his first at-bat on the day, 0 for 1. Caleb still looking for his first base hit on the weekend. It's 0 for 8 now in the weekend action. And Bonk starts him off with a pitch that he bunts down the first base line. Kennedy's grabbing it. He's going to reach for him. Did he get him? He did not get him. So terrific slide there from Caleb Ketchup. Good bunt. Kennedy had to come in and try to get it. He reached for Caleb Ketchup, but he dove past him to get into first base, and so that's going to go down as a bunt single. That'll be the 5th Bison's hit on the day. And an excellent bunt executed by Ketchup there, and that's what you do when you've been struggling at the plate a little bit. Find a way to get the ball down and let your speed do the talking, as it were. So we're back to the top of the order, and John Shields. John walked and scored a run in the first, and then flew out to left field in the second. So 0 for 1 on the day. Ketchup, a threat to run, as we mentioned, leads the Bisons with 6 stolen base and 7 attempts. Doesn't have much of a lead, and they're going to chase him back because I'm sure they've read the scouting report. So Ketchup aboard with 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning. And again, McCormick shaded a little bit towards second base. There's a big hole on the right side if Shields were to pull this ball. He hits it in the air to center field. Barnes is going to watch it hit in front of him. Ketchup is going to have to stop at second. So John Shields, base hit to center field. It'll be the second hit of the inning and the 6th on the day for the Bison's hitters. And the Bisons have something brewing again here in the third inning as Maddox Houghton comes to the plate. Maddox has tripled and driven in a run and also walked, and he scored both times. So been on base twice, scored a couple runs. I mentioned he was out of the lineup Friday, but he came back yesterday in a big way, going 2 for 4, and he's off to a hot start today as well. So Houghton wants to continue this rally for the Bisons. Runners first and second, good speed on the base paths as both Ketchup and Shields can run well. He swings and hits the first pitch he sees into left field. They're going to send Ketchup around third, and the throw's going to come to third, and he'll score easily. 7th run of the day for the Bisons. Maddox Houghton will have his second RBI on the day as he gets that base hit. Be the 3rd base hit of the inning for the Bisons. And they've now got Shields running at second, Houghton running at first, and Trace Wilhoit's up there. And Wilhoit struck out and singled and scored a run, so he's 1 for 2 on the day. 7 hits already for the Bisons. They had 10 on Friday and 13 in yesterday's game. But most of those came late, as we mentioned, as they were shut down in some of the early innings, and Wilhoit, big cut at that one and fouls it back to the screen, 0-1. Get back to the ASUN Conference standings on the west side. We told you about the East previously. Lipscomb is the best record among the Western Division teams at 6-4. Eastern Kentucky 7-5. North Alabama 3-5. Jacksonville State 3-6. Central Arkansas 3-7. And Bellarmine off to a slow start at 1-11 on the season. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Wilhoit from Bonk. Swings through that one, 0-2. So again, no conference games yet. These are all non-conference records. Yesterday, you know that Lipscomb defeated Northern Illinois. Eastern Kentucky defeated Bowling Green 3-0. North Alabama defeated UT Martin 7-3. Jacksonville State defeated Siena 7-1. Central Arkansas lost to South Dakota State 9-1, and Bellarmine lost at Presbyterian 5-0. Here comes the 0-2. Runners going, outside pitch, throw to third, and not in time. So double steal executed there. And credit Shields. Houghton with stolen bases on that one, and the count will go to 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's a good throw and good tag put down, but the runners had a pretty good jump. So runner second and third now with 1 out. Infield's going to come in on the right side. They're playing back on the left side. And Wilhoit hits that one off his fists, foul, and it'll be a ball and 2 strikes. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner second and third, 1 run already home in this inning. Lipscomb's leading Northern Illinois 7-0. Quite a change from the past 2 ball games where the Bisons have been slow out of the gate and rallied late to come back for the win. That's a breaking ball that doesn't get the inside corner. It's going to remain 2-2 on Will Hoyt. Malik Williams waits on deck. Again, Nick Bonk, the second pitcher used for the Huskies. Connor Landgrader started and gave up 3 runs in the first and the second inning and exited for the day. Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Trace Wilhoit. Swung on and hit towards short. Actually, third baseman's going to glove it, and now they're going to say it hit foul. So you thought from the way he reacted it might have got a piece of him. I think that caught Trace, and he's trying to walk that one off. Looks like it hit him in the foot, so the ball was dead. I think it would have probably allowed the Bisons to score a run. Again, Shields running from third. He runs well, and so he was running on the play. But instead, it'll be strike 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner second and third for Lipscomb here in the bottom of the 3rd inning as they threatening to add to that 7-0 lead. Breaking ball is going to stay inside. That'll run the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Will Hoyt faces a 3-2 pitch here. Again, a little bit of unusual defensive alignment. If you look on your screen, first baseman Kennedy, second baseman McCormick are both playing in, but the left side is playing back. Harper and Demetrol are in a little bit more standard position. Harper's about even with the bag at third. Here comes the payoff pitch to Trace Wilhoit from Nick Bonk. Swings and fouls it out of play. Fastball there they just got a piece of to stay alive, and it'll be 3-2. Nice crowd on hand. We still got time for you to come out and join us at the ballpark. We're playing just in the 3rd inning, so as we mentioned, temperature in the upper 70s, big breeze blowing, and so we'd love to see you come out. We've had a nice crowd all weekend. A lot of fans here from Northern Illinois, and a lot of the Bison's faithful have turned out as well. Here comes a payoff pitch, and now the whole infield is in, and he swings and hits it past the diving Harper into left field. Shields is going to score. They're going to send Maddox Houghton, and the throw's going to get into second base. 2 more runs are going to come across on the RBI base hit from Trace Wilhoit. So Wilhoit's going to pick up 2 RBIs on that base hit, and the Bisons have stretched their lead out to 9-0. They've got 4 hits in the inning and still just 1 out, and Malik Williams comes up. Williams has hit a sacrifice fly for an RBI back in the 1st inning, and he's walked, scored a run. And now you've got Wilhoit running at first. Bisons with 8 hits on the day. That one's going to hang inside for ball 1. So the Bisons with 3 runs in each of the first 3 innings after being relatively quiet in the early innings of the first couple of games this weekend. Malik hits that one high in the air to right center field. Drifting back is Irado, still drifting back. He's going to glove it there. Terrific catch. And Irado with a great catch to rob Malik Williams of an extra base hit. He had to go a long way, laid out and caught that ball. Tip your cap to Irado. Very nice play by the right fielder for the Huskies. And they will retire Malik Williams for the 2nd out of the inning. Malik hit that ball really hard and hit it to a deep part of the ballpark. But again, excellent defense the Huskies have shown all weekend, particularly in the outfield. And so 2 outs now for Rudy Maxwell. He'll bat with a runner at first base. That is Trace Wilhoit. Rudy reached on an error and is singled and driven in a run. Batting .357 on the season now. And fastball is going to catch the outside corner, 0-1. Mason Lundgren waits on deck. So 9 runs on 8 hits for the Bisons so far today, and just 1 hit with no runs for the Huskies. Somebody must have told the Bisons we started this game in the 8th inning. They're attacking the ball at the plate the way they have in the 8th inning the last couple of days. So I'm sure Coach Forehand and the coaching staff will be pleased to see them jumping out here early. And that one's going to catch the inside corner for strike 2. So 0-2 to Rudy Maxwell. 2 outs and runner at first base, and Lipscomb leading Northern Illinois 9-0 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning from Dugan Field in Nashville. Again, we invite you to come by. It's Sunday Fun Day. The kids get to run the bases on the field after the game. So if you're in the area, come on out, bring your kiddos, and let them get out on the field after the game. Here comes the 0-2. Hit on the ground to third base. Harper's going to flip to second, and they'll get the force out there to retire Maxwell and to retire the Bisons in the third inning. But it's another big inning for the Bisons. They pick up 3 runs on 4 hits. There were no errors. They stranded another runner, and they've stranded 5 through the first 3. But our new score, Lipscomb 9, Northern Illinois 0. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. Top of the 4th inning, your score, Lipscomb 9, Northern Illinois nothing, and the Huskies will send up 2, 3, 4, Dimitrol, Irado, and Harper to face Ike Buxton, who's been terrific so far. 3 innings pitched, given up just 1 hit. He's walked 1 and struck out 2, 44 pitches through the first 3 innings. So a very effective start so far for Ike Buxton. And he'll face Dimitrol, who was a strikeout victim, back in the first inning to get things started here in the 4th. Starts him out with a fastball through there for a strike. 0-1 to Dimitrol. Rich caught up on some scores during this inning. We'll bring scores from the ASUN teams in action and also area teams, as that one misses downstairs for a ball and a strike. Lots of activity in college baseball today. 20th ranked Liberty is in the top of the 3rd, leading Canisius 7-2. And he swings and fouls that one at the plate. That'll be a ball and 2 strikes. Siena is leading Jacksonville State 1-0 in the top of the 1st. 17th ranked Tennessee leading Oklahoma 6-0 in the bottom of the 5th. That's in the Shriners Classic in Houston, Texas. This is inside with a slider there, and that'll even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Dimitrol. Sacred Heart and Stetson due for a 3 p.m. start. And he swings and fouls that one to keep the count 2-2. Kennesaw State and Troy are just underway, as are Middle Tennessee and South Alabama. Crosstown, Dayton and Belmont are scoreless in the first inning. Dayton defeating Belmont yesterday. I believe that's just the 2nd loss on the season for the Bruins, who came in here and defeated the Bisons in a midweek game. Top of the 4th inning, Jacksonville leading Butler 2-1. Seton Hall, Florida Gulf Coast get underway at 2 Central, and that's fouled back to Buxton. I thought it was fouled off his foot, but it must not have hit him as the play stays live, and so Dimitrol will be retired from Buxton to Malik Williams, and I think that's 3 putouts already for Ike Buxton. He's been active on the mound with fielding his position. But Eric Irado will stand in. Irado also a strikeout victim back in the first inning. Back to our scoreboard. Presbyterian is leading Bellarmine again 6-0, bottom of the 3rd. South Dakota State and Central Arkansas are due to start any minute here. North Florida leading Boston College 7-0 in the bottom of the 2nd, and North Alabama leading Tennessee Martin 6-2 in the 4th inning. That's going to miss outside for ball 1. So that's your area and ASUN scoreboard, catching you up to speed on baseball action around the area in this busy Sunday of college baseball. Now it's going to skip in there and be 2 balls and no strikes. Lipscomb Bison's softball team's been in action in Draper Diamond next door. We'll try to get you a score when we can. They've been hosting the Bison's Classic all weekend. That one's going to go all the way back to the screen, and Buxton has thrown 3 straight balls to Eric Irado. Aaron Harper waits on deck. The 3-0 is also going to miss downstairs for ball 4. So 2nd walk of the day for Buxton. And Irado will jog down to first base with 1 out, and that'll bring up Aaron Harper. Harper was the other walk of the day. He was cut down on a double play ground ball off the Beticosa Bucky. So 1 out and a runner down at first base, and Harper will bat. We mentioned earlier he's got the only home run the Huskies have all season so far. Buxton almost hit him with that. Off-speed pitch that stayed inside. 1 ball, no strike. So Bisons will be hitting the road for midweek action on Tuesday. They'll go up the road to Clarksville, Tennessee, and face the Austin Peay Governors with a 3 p.m. Central start. We do now have a start time. That's 3 p.m. Central. They'll turn around and host the Governors here at Dugan Field the following day, Wednesday, also at 3 p.m. That one's going to miss downstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. So back-to-back midweek games against Austin Peay. One on the road on Tuesday, back here at home at 3 p.m. on Wednesday. That game will be for you here live on YouTube Live. And then the Bisons on the road next weekend. They play a 3-game series at Georgia. Friday's game, 5 p.m. Central Time start. Saturday, 1 p.m. and Sunday, 2 p.m. So those games will be televised from Georgia. Go to LipscombSports.com for all the detailed information of where to find those games. 2 balls, no strikes. And that one's right through there for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Following that, the Bisons on the road to Tennessee Tech in a midweek, and then they'll come back home and host their ASUN opener. They host Jacksonville State for a 3-game series, March 18, 19, and 20. That's foul straight back, and leaving the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Aaron Harper, with Caden Kosa Bucky waiting on deck. So ASUN action starts the weekend of March 18th. Jacksonville State Gamecocks will come to Dugan Field for their first ever action as members of the Atlantic Sun Conference. Here comes the 2-2. Swung on and fouled again. So Harper having a good battle with Buxton. He keeps reaching out there and fouling pitches away. After that Jacksonville series, the Bisons will be on the road to play Louisville. And the following week, they play Vanderbilt. So they've got some outstanding out-of-conference activity coming up over the next couple of weeks with Georgia, Louisville, and Vandy all on the schedule. That's tapped towards the third base side. It's going to be up and over to first for a double play. So Wilhoit fired to Stamps and on to Williams, and that'll end the threat for the Huskies here in the 4th inning. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Your score, Lipscomb 9 and Northern Illinois 0. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. Bottom of the 4th inning underway as Mason Lundgren looks at a ball downstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Be Lundgren, Bertolani, and Stamps here in the bottom of the 4th for the Bisons. Nick Bonk still on the mound for the Huskies, and he misses outside, and that's 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 on Lundgren. Bonk working quickly here. That one's going to miss high, ball 3. Lundgren singled and drove in a run in the first, was hit by a pitch in the second. We're playing in the bottom of the 4th inning here. The 3-0. That's going to catch the outside corner, 3-1 on Mason Lundgren. So the Bisons have scored 3 runs in each of their first 3 at-bats. They got 8 hits on the day for those 9 runs. And here comes the 3-1 to Lundgren. That's going to be through there for strike 2. It's on the outside corner. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. I think Lundgren's asking home plate umpire Adam Clark for some more details about that one, but they've reached their piece about it, and here comes the 3-2, and that's going to miss outside for ball 4. It's the first walk given up by Bonk, and that'll bring up Bertolani, who was hit by a pitch and grounded out. 0 for 1 on the day is the Bison's junior catcher. Jazz has 5 hits and 21 at-bats to start the season. He's typically been catching on Fridays and Sundays and sitting out on Saturday's game. Always tough on those catchers, and nice for them to get a break in there. So he and Rudy Maxwell have been alternating the catching duties. And Lundgren is your runner at first. Healthy lead over there. You wouldn't think he's running with a 9-0 lead. Bertolani takes a big hack at that one, and it's 0-1. Ethan Stamps waiting on deck for the Bisons. Still got some activity down in the Northern Illinois bullpen. Can't tell who's throwing, but there is some activity down there. That one's high and tight, almost hit him. Count will remain a ball and a strike. So the Bisons already with 8 hits today. They did hammer out 10 hits on Friday and 13 hits in Saturday's game, but again, victimized by 6 errors and 8 walks from the pitching staff, and they were playing catch-up for much of that game. Here comes a pitch through there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Chaz Bertolani. Bertolani, an outstanding defensive catcher, which is something you always appreciate. Somebody that's keep those balls in front of them, help control the running game, and so great value at any level of baseball from having a solid defender behind the dish. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Bertolani. Checks his swing and hits it foul. The count will remain at a ball and 2 strikes. For Northern Illinois, Connor Landgrader started, went the first 2 innings, gave up 5 earned runs, 6 total, 4 hits, had 3 walks and a strikeout, and Bonk now working in his 2nd inning for the Huskies. Comes the 1-2 pitch to Bertolani. Swings through that one for strike 3. So that'll be the first strikeout for Nick Bonk, and that'll bring up Ethan Stamps. And Stamps is grounded out twice, once to third, once to second on the day. 269 on the season for Ethan Stamps. Stamps, a sophomore out of Madison, Georgia. Played as true freshman last year for the Bisons. Wound up starting in 22 games, played in 25 all total, hit .259, no homers and 6 RBIs. And so back for his sophomore campaign. Played some at third base last year. This year's been playing mostly at second. They're going to chase Lundgren back with a throw. Swung on and hit in the air to the right side. Arado going back, still going back, goes up towards the warning track, is going to glove it right there. That one was slicing away from him, so Stamps hit it well, but he's going to be retired for the 2nd out of the inning. And with 2 outs, Caleb Ketchup will come up. Ketchup flew out to right field in his first at-bat. Second at-bat, he pushed a bunt down the first base line and was able to dive past the first baseman Kennedy, who made a stab at it but couldn't tag him. So in a diving slide, Ketchup got into first base. He later came around and scored the first run of the third inning for the Bisons, 1 of 3 that they put up. So Ketchup bats with 2 outs and a runner at first, who's Mason Lundgren. He led off this inning with a walk. Breaking ball misses downstairs. 1 ball and no strikes to Ketchup. Wind's picked up quite a bit again. It's blowing from center field towards the left field line. We're expecting it into the 15 to 20 mile per hour range all day, as there's some inclement weather coming in for tomorrow here in the Nashville area. So we'll hope it'll hold off and let us get this one completed before it arrives. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to Ketchup. Swung on and hit foul back to the screen. The count will even at a ball and a strike. Caleb Ketchup is out of Atlanta, Georgia. Previously played at the University of Georgia. First season here in Nashville, and he has started every game at shortstop for the Bisons in his career thus far. They're going to throw to first and chase Lundgren back again. For those of you at home who are wondering, Lundgren is 1 for 1 on stolen base attempts on the season. That one misses inside. It'll be ball 2 on Caleb Ketchup. Again, Northern Illinois, part of the Mid-American Conference. Same conference as Akron, who was the opening weekend opponent for the Lipscomb Bison. So they've played 2 of the MAC teams already. Checked his swing. Did he go? And I believe they'll say that that kicked off his bat. I think they're going to call that a strike based on the umpire's reaction. Didn't get a definitive reaction there, but I think he tried to check his swing and might have got a piece of that. So we're going to call it 2 balls and 2 strikes. We'll see if we're right or wrong, but 2 balls, 2 strikes is our version of events. 2 outs, Lundgren running at first base. Bison's leading Northern Illinois 9-0, and that's going to be hit foul on the ground down the third base line. Missed a double by about a foot there. Harper gave chase, but that'll make the corner. And the count will stay at 2-2 on Caleb Ketchup. Top of the order, and John Shields is up next. And Shields has already batted 3 times in the first 3 innings. So the Bisons have been on base frequently in this one so far. They've hit 9 hits so far. Also taking advantage of a few bases on balls that have been given to them. Here comes the 2-2 to Caleb Ketchup. Swung on and hit high in the air off the third base side. That's going to get out of play. Back up on the hill and lands very close to a group of fans who were having a picnic out on a blanket. Thankfully, no one was hit there. Came quite close to a group of folks who were sitting out on a blanket. We got a big hillside here where some folks like to stretch a blanket out on these sunny, nice spring days. And young fan is trying to capture that one. He missed it on the first try, but Will Newell flips it to him, and he's going to get it on the second try. So a souvenir for a young fan. Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Caleb Ketchup. Swung on and hammered down the left field line. That's going to be foul. And again, Ketchup swinging it hard and swinging it well, but just a bit early on that inside fastball that he jumped on. So count will remain 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Lipscomb leading Northern Illinois 9-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Third game between these 2 teams who've played 2 dramatic games in the first 2, both of which were 8-7 Bison's wins, involving some heroics in the 8th and 9th innings. Here comes the 2-2, and he swings through that one, I believe. Nope, he got a piece of it. Just tapped it foul. So Ketchup stays alive. That's a breaking ball that he had to go down and try to get a piece of. So the battle continues between Ketchup and Nick Bonk, as that's about 4 fouls, I believe, in a row that Ketchup has been able to work through. We always talk about that battle between hitter and pitcher. Those pitchers do get frustrated by those hitters that just keep extending the at-bat with 2 strikes. So we'll see what Ketchup is able to do here on a 2-2 pitch. He swings and hammers this one toward the left side. It's going deep down the left field foul line, but it's going to get out foul out towards the batting cage area there. So again, another big swing from Ketchup, and he hammered that one foul. He's hit 3 or 4 balls foul down that left field line, and they've all been hit with some authority. So count still 2 balls, 2 strikes. There are 2 outs. Mason Lundgren still your runner at first base, and Caleb Ketchup is really battling here against Nick Bonk, getting full advantage of his time in the batter's box during this at-bat. Swings and fouls it back again. So, again, tip your hat to Ketchup here. He's doing what he has to do to extend the at-bat. Sometimes this is the kind of at-bat that can get a player going. They get that confidence up of how they battle and battle and battle, saw the ball well, continue to fight through it, and that confidence can carry over. So much of all of this game is about confidence, but particularly for those hitters who stand in there and try to deal with a variety of pitches that they're seeing, and Ketchup is about to see another 2-2 pitch from Nick Bonk. That's going to miss just inside. Good spot, but he missed, and Bonk's a little Frustrated he didn't get that call. He thought he might get him there. But it missed inside and low, and so the count will be full, and you got to believe Lundgren will be running on the pitch. He's still being held on by Kennedy at first. Sometimes you'll see teams throw over in this situation just to see if they can catch the base runner being inattentive and taking off just a half a tick early. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. He is running, and that's going to miss inside ball 4. So really nice at bat there from Ketchup. It's going to look just like a walk in the score sheet, but that's a terrific at bat where he extended. And you could tell that Bonk was frustrated that he lost Ketchup after having him down 2 strikes. But that'll turn us back to the top of the order. And as we mentioned, John Shields will bat for the 4th time already in the game here in the 4th inning. He walked, stole a base, scored a run. He flew out to left field, and he singled, stole a base, and scored. So he scored twice. 1 for 2 on the day. 308 on the season for John Shields. And there will be 2 runners on and 2 outs now for Shields. Maddox Houghton waits on deck. Shields, base hit into right field. They're going to wave Lundgren around third. Ketchup is going to run to third. The throw is going to be cut off. And John Shields, another RBI base hit. The Bisons lead 10-0. So good piece of hitting there by Shields. He turned on that quickly and hit the first pitch he saw into right field. And so the Bisons have their 10th run of the day. They also have their 9th hit of the day, and Maddox Houghton will come up there. He's got a couple of those base hits. He's tripled and driven in a run. He walked and scored a run, and he singled and drove in a run and scored. So he's 2 for 2 with 3 runs scored and 2 RBIs. He's up to 379 on the season. And so Maddox Houghton really off to a hot start to his senior campaign for the senior center fielder. Curveball's going to float inside, and that'll be 1 ball and no strikes. Ketchup now running at third with excellent speed. Shields with good speed running at first. And the Bisons have done it the old-fashioned way today by just hitting the ball, and again, timely hits and hitting with runners in scoring position. That one's going to miss downstairs, 2-0 on Maddox Houghton. Trace Wilhoit waits on deck. Again, the Bisons have scored in every inning. They got 3 in the first, 3 in the second, 3 in the third, and 1 so far here in the 4th, and they're leading 10-0. After these 2 teams played 2 very tight ball games in the first 2. Again, identical 8-7 scores on Friday and Saturday. The first 2 games of this series. That one's going to miss just inside as well. So 3-0 now for Maddox Houghton. And Bonk's up to 47 pitches here that he's thrown in an inning and 2/3. He's given up 5 hits, walked 2 and struck out 1 so far. That's right through there for a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Looked like Houghton was taking all the way. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runners first and third for the Bisons. They've already got 1 run home this inning. And here comes the 3-1 pitch. Swings through that one off the plate. That was ball 4, and he swung through it and makes it 3-2. So 3 balls, 2 strikes now. Shields will be taking off from first base, you would think. Bright sunshine back out now. We mentioned partly cloudy skies. We're expecting it to get cloudier as the day wears on, but right now we've got full sunshine, and the crowd's enjoying a beautiful spring afternoon here in Nashville, Tennessee. Here comes the payoff pitch from Nick Bonk to Maddox Houghton. Swung through at strike 3. So Maddox Houghton will go down on strikes, but the Bisons tack on another run courtesy of 1 hit. They leave 2 on base. They've stranded 7 runners through the first 4 innings, but they currently lead Northern Illinois by a score of 10-0. We'll be back in just a moment to head to the top of the 5th. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. Top of the fifth inning, Lipscomb leading Northern Illinois 10-0. Ike Buxton back out on the mound for the Bisons. He's gone all the way so far. And Caden Kosabucky will lead things off for Northern Illinois. Kosabucky grounded into a double play in his only at-bat so far today. He has had a terrific weekend, going 1 for 3 in yesterday's game and walking 3 times and scoring in Friday night's game. So Kosabucky will lead things off here for the Huskies in the top of the fifth, and he looks at a pitch through there for strike one. So again, one of the things Buxton's done a terrific job today on is just really getting ahead and putting himself ahead in the count early with these Huskies hitters, and he's controlled things. That one's going to be swung on and fouled at the plate, and it'll be 0-2. So we mentioned that the Huskies head coach is Coach Mike Kunagonis. He's in his 8th season, first head coaching job. He previously coached at Niagara, Canisius, Radford, and then Virginia Tech. He was at Virginia Tech for a number of years, became the associate head coach before being named head coach at Northern Illinois. That's outside 1-2. Kunagonis, as a player, played at American International College. That misses outside as well, 2-2. Had an undergraduate degree in criminal justice and sociology and a master's degree in sports administration. This is way outside there, so Buxton got ahead 0-2, and now he's fought back to 3-2 to Kosabucky, with Combs waiting on deck. Swung on and hit on the ground to catch up at shortstop. Quick hop to him. He throws on to first, and Malik Williams will pick that one up out of the dirt, and that'll be the first out of the inning for Ike Buxton and the Bisons. That'll bring up the DH, Scott Combs. Combs got the only hit of the day so far for the Huskies. He doubled back in the second inning, but was stranded. Again, Combs has had himself a pretty good weekend. He was 1 for 3 and scored a run on Friday. And Saturday's action, he was 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs. And one of those hits in Saturday's action was a big 2-strike base hit to tie the game in the 9th inning as the Huskies were down to their final out. But he's going to be retired here on a fly ball out to John Shields in right field. So quickly 2 are down for the Huskies here in the 5th inning, and Ike Buxton really cruising along. He's faced only 3 batters in 3 of the 4 innings so far. The second inning was the only inning where the Huskies managed to get a base runner and send 4 men to the plate. That one's going to miss outside, 1 ball and no strikes. So by far the most effective start of the season for Buxton. About as sharp as we've seen him be in a Lipscomb uniform. And I know Coach Matt Myers, the pitching coach, Coach Forehand, the coaching staff will be really pleased with what they've seen out of Buxton here today. The type of performance he's put up will certainly play in any ballpark here. He does get behind 2-0 on Paxton Kennedy, who grounded out in his first at-bat. That went way inside, almost hit him. And so it'll be 3-0 with Patty McCormick waiting on deck. Here comes the 3-0 pitch, and that's through there for a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike. Again, defensively, Maxwell's in left, Houghton in center, Shields in right, Will Hoyt at third, Ketchup at short, Stamps at second, Malik Williams at first. And that'll be ball 4 down and in. And with 2 outs, there'll be a base runner at first for Patty McCormick. He grounded out back to the pitcher in his first at-bat of the day. So 2 outs and a runner on first for McCormick. Buxton throws and he hits it to Caleb Ketchup at short. He'll flip over to second, and they will retire McCormick with the fielder's choice for the 3rd out of the inning. So that's another base runner stranded. Just 2 on the day and just 1 hit on the day. No hits and no runs in this inning. We head to the bottom half of the 5th. Your score, Lipscomb 10, Northern Illinois 0. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. Home half of the fifth inning, Lipscomb leading Northern Illinois 10-0. A new pitcher on the mound is Tommy Meyer. Meyer, a 6'5", 210-pound left-hander out of Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. On the season, he's worked 5 innings, given up 7 hits, 11 runs, 7 of which were earned, 8 walks, 6 strikeouts. And he's on as the third pitcher of the day for the Huskies, and he'll be facing Trace Wilhoit. Trace batting for the 4th time. He's got a couple singles and a strikeout on the day. He's also driven in 2 runs. And he swings and hits this one deep in the air to center field. Barnes is drifting back over. He's still going back, and it's hanging up for the first out of the inning. So he hit that one well, but Barnes had him played pretty well, and he records the first out of the inning. I'll bring up Malik Williams. Williams had an RBI sacrifice fly in the first. He walked, scored a run in the second, and then flew out to right field in the third. So Tommy Meyer's a true freshman. Again, went to high school at Wauwatosa East High School, where he was an all-state selection in Wisconsin, and he gets ahead there with a strike to Malik Williams. So a lot of freshmen getting some action this weekend for the Huskies, and comes in here in a spot where he's going to have to try to concentrate on getting outs, and that's hit in the air to the right field side. Arado turns around and is going to glove it, so 2 straight fly ball outs as Williams flies out deep to right field, and 2 quick outs for the Bisons, and Rudy Maxwell will come up. Rudy reached on an error and scored in the first, had an RBI base hit in the second, and then grounded into a fielder's choice in the third inning. So 1 for 3 on the day with an RBI. Batting .349 on the season. He swings through that one, strike 1. And Grader started with the first 2. Bonk pitched the 3rd and 4th, and Tommy Meyer on now as the 3rd hurler of the day for the Huskies. Swings and fouls that one back to the screen, and it's 0-2. We mentioned the Huskies used 3 arms on Friday and 4 in yesterday's activity. Now the relief pitchers pitched very long. A couple of guys who went an inning each on Friday, and 2/3 of an inning for 3 different pitchers in relief yesterday. So they should have a lot of options available out in the bullpen. That's if curveball's going to stay outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Maxwell batting with 2 outs and the base is empty. Bottom of the 5th inning. And he swings and hits this one in the air to center field. Barnes is going over. He comes in a couple of steps. And that's going to be 3 fly ball outs for the Bisons, and that's going to be the first 1-2-3 inning of the day. So Meyer comes in and gets a 1-2-3 inning, and the Bisons have nothing going. We've played 5 full innings. Your score, Lipscomb 10 and Northern Illinois 0. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. We're going to the top of the 6th inning. Ike Buxton is a terrific start in progress. The sophomore right-hander for the Bisons has worked 5 innings. He's given up just 1 hit. He's walked 3, struck out 2. And he's been in command throughout, and he will start the 6th inning here. He's thrown 72 pitches through those first 5 innings. And so Buxton will face Malik Peters, the 9-hole hitter for the Huskies. Peters grounded out to second base and is only at bat back in the 3rd. So Ike Buxton with a strong start here for the Bisons on a Sunday afternoon. And he gets that one through there for a strike, 0-1. That one's going to miss down and away, and it'll be a ball and a strike on Peters. Again, the Bison's on the road this week on Tuesday up at Austin Peay for a midweek game, 3 p.m. Central Time start. Swings through the off-speed pitch there, ball and 2 strikes. The Bisons will be back home here at Ken Dugan Field on Wednesday for a 3 p.m. matchup against Austin Peay. So back-to-back games with the Governors. One on the road, one at home. The Wednesday game will be here on YouTube Live. Swings and hits that one off his foot towards third, like another off-speed pitch. And the count will remain 1 ball and 2 strikes. We don't have the television information for Tuesday's game, rather. We invite you to check on lipscombsports.com tomorrow for that information to see if there'll be a broadcast from the Tuesday game. But the Wednesday game will be back here on YouTube Live as the Bisons entertain the Austin Peay Governors in midweek baseball action. Here's the 1-2 fastball hit foul and out of play. The count will remain 1 ball and 2 strikes. And then, as we mentioned, the Bisons will be on the road going to Athens, Georgia for a 3-game series at the University of Georgia next weekend. Single games Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Checked his swing, got a piece of it, and the count will remain 1 ball and 2 strikes. One ball and 2 strikes to Malik Peters, and that one's going to catch the outside corner, strike 3. Terrific spot there. Live fastball. And Peters will go down as the 3rd strikeout of the day for Ike Buxton. We're back to the top of the order, and Matt Barnes. Barnes has grounded out twice in his 2 at-bats. Once he tapped it back to the mound, once to shortstop. Barnes 289 on the season now, and he swings and fouls that one off. So Buxton has a lot of sinking action on his ball, and I think you're seeing that. A lot of these balls have been fouled off at the plate, and they're hitting them down into their foot or into the ground, and so that suggests that Buxton's sinking action really working today. And again, when that sinking fastball is combined with his slider, he could be very, very effective. That one's going to stay high and tight for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Andre Demetral waiting on deck. One out here in the top of the 6th inning. Lipscomb leading Northern Illinois 10-0. That's a slider that'll stay high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Bison's 10 runs, 9 hits, no errors. The Huskies, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 error on the day. And that's swung on and tapped towards Ketchup at short. He's going to glove it. He's going to throw on the run. Nice play there by Caleb Ketchup. And for the 3rd time of the day, Matt Barnes will ground out. That'll be the 2nd out of the inning, and it'll bring up Andre Demetral, who's grounded out and struck out. So he's 0 for 2 on the day. And again, Ike Buxton getting ahead of hitters, making quality pitches, pitching to contact with 2 strikes. We've seen Buxton rack up a lot of strikeouts, but I'm sure the coaching staff is pleased to see him keep the pitch count down and get this contact that results in outs. And he's going to hit Demetral with that one. Got him squarely in the back. So Demetral will trot down to first base, and that'll be a base runner at first with 2 outs, and Eric Arado will come up. And Arado has struck out and walked on the day. 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, and now 1 hit by pitch for Ike Buxton. Again, he's at 83 pitches here, so we're starting to see just a little bit of movement down in the Bison's bullpen. That one's going to be a fastball that'll miss down and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Bison's used 6 pitchers on Friday. They used 4 in yesterday's activity. But they've got a very deep bullpen, a lot of arms available down there for Coach Forehand to choose from. So I'm sure they'd like the Buxton to go as far as he can. That'll get back to the screen, and it'll allow Demetral to jog down to second. That's a wild pitch. Coach Matt Myers is going to go out and chat with sophomore right-hander Buxton. While he does, we'll go back and take a look at our scoreboard as we'll update our scores on area teams and ASUN conference teams. Liberty stretched this lead now to 13-5. Liberty ranked 20th in the country and off to a terrific start this season. That game's in the top of the 6th inning, 13-5. Liberty leading Canisius. Jacksonville State and Siena are tied 3-3 in the bottom of the 5th. Tennessee, 17th ranked in the country, now leading Oklahoma 8-0 in the bottom of the 9th as the Sooners bat to stay alive in that one. The Shriners College Classic in Houston, Texas. Sacred Heart leading Stetson 2-1. That's in the bottom of the 1st. Kennesaw State leading at Troy 6-2. That's the bottom of the 4th. South Alabama on top of Middle Tennessee 4-0 in the top of the 7th. Belmont has fought back to lead Dayton 7-6. That's the bottom of the 6th. Butler leading Jacksonville 7-3 in the bottom of the 8th. Florida Gulf Coast leading Seton Hall, or has defeated Seton Hall rather, 8-0. That one has gone final, a victory for Florida Gulf Coast. Swung on and tapped towards the right side. Williams coming over, Buxton covering. He flips to him, and the pitcher's fielding practice pays off there. That is a ground out that'll go 3-1, and it'll be the third out of the inning. Nicely executed there. That'll strand a runner, but nothing doing otherwise for the Huskies here in the top of the 6th inning. Your score, Lipscomb 10, Northern Illinois 0. As we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning, we'll be back in just a moment. You're watching Lipscomb Bison's baseball on YouTube Live. We head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Lipscomb leading Northern Illinois 10-0, and we're going to have a pinch hitter here. Number 32, Lilo Paxia, is going to bat for Mason Lundgren. Paxia, 5'11", 245-pounder out of East Hampton, New Jersey. Previously played at Howard College. He's had just 3 at-bats on the season, still looking for his first base hit. And Paxia will stand in to bat against Tommy Meyer, the left-hander who came on and retired the Bisons in order in the bottom of the 5th inning, rather. So Lilo Paxia batting here for designated hitter Mason Lundgren. And he swings and hits this one towards second base and in the right field for a base hit. So first pitch swinging is Paxia, and he hit that past the diving McCormick. That'll be the 10th base hit of the day for the Bisons. Chaz Bertolani's going to bat. Chaz was hit by a pitch. He's grounded out and struck out. So 0 for 2 on the day. And that swung on and hit towards short. It's going to be gloved and flipped to second for 1 and on to first. And they're going to record a double play out there. So that was close play at first. But Demetral got rid of it quickly to McCormick at second, and he flips it over to first, and so that'll be a 6-4-3 double play. And that'll erase the base runner, and that'll bring up another pinch hitter. This is David Coppage. David Coppage, the redshirt freshman, 6'1", 185-pounder out of Chesterfield, Virginia. So Coppage is going to bat for Ethan Stamps. Coppage has 1 hit and 11 trips on the season so far. And he'll probably stay in the game to play at second base, as that's his normal position. So 2 outs, bases empty, bottom of the 6th. And he checks his swing, and it fouls back to the screen. 0-1 on Coppage. Caleb Ketchup is in the on-deck circle. As Coach Forehand substituting a lot here late in this ball game. 10 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Bisons. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error for the Huskies of Northern Illinois. Very different ball game than we've seen in the first 2 in this series, both of which will run 1-run affairs. That's going to be a breaking ball that'll stay outside. It'll be a ball and a strike. And here comes the 1-1. Swung on and hit in the air to center field. Barnes is going to drift over to his right. Now he's coming in, and he's going to glove it for the 3rd out in the inning. So once again, that's going to turn into another 1-2-3 inning for Tommy Meyer. Nothing doing for the Bisons here after the leadoff base hit. So we've played 6 full innings. Your score, Lipscomb 10 and Northern Illinois 0. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons baseball on YouTube Live. So we had at the top of the 7th inning, a couple changes for the Bisons. The new pitcher is number 28, Dylan Bierman, a senior right-hander, 6'1", 205 out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, getting his very first action of the 2022 season as he's been sidelined some by injury. And he starts off by throwing a ball to Aaron Harper. Harper's 0 for 1 on the day, grounded into a double play, and he's walked in his 2 plate appearances. So Ike Buxton done after 6 terrific innings, giving up no runs and 1 hit. Bierman throws that one downstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Bierman appeared in 15 games and started 9 in the 2021 campaign, had 46 1/3 innings pitched, 33 strikeouts and 20 walks. And that's right through there for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike to Aaron Harper. 2020, Bierman made 4 starts and threw 18 innings in that season, shortened by COVID. Prior to that, he was at Johnson County Community College. Gets a swing and a miss there, and the count will go to 2-2. 2019, he was on the All-American Honors College Men's at Large team as he misses high there, 3-2. He had 16 appearances, 12 as a starter, 6-3 record, 3.33 ERA. And in 2018, he had 21 appearances, 1 as a starter through 45 innings. So he has pitched a lot in his career, and good to see him back out there for the Bisons. That one's going to miss high, and that'll put Harper aboard with a leadoff walk. And I believe this will bring up Jonathan Latham, and it will indeed. Latham will get his first at-bat of the day. Latham came on as a defensive replacement in the last inning, and so he'll bat now here. Latham with no hits and 5 trips to the plate on the season, so looking for his first base hit. And he just hit one out of here to left field. Way out is that one. Jonathan Latham, 2-run home run. And the Huskies are on the board as Latham has homered to left. Jonathan Latham comes in, and the first pitch he sees, he hammers it out with a left field wall, and it's 10-2 now. And again, we're seeing this Huskies team that simply will not give up. They keep putting at bats together, and done the same thing in each of the other ball games we've seen. And so Scott Combs is going to come up. He's doubled and flied out on the day, 1 for 2, hitting .278 now on the season. And he looks at a breaking ball in the outside corner for a strike. Nothing. No balls, 1 strike. 2 hits on the day for the Huskies now. The breaking ball is going to stay high, and that'll leave the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Ball's hit to short. Ketchup's going to glove it, take a couple steps, throw on the run, and he'll record an out there for the first out of the inning as they retire Scott Combs on that ground out. I'll bring up Paxton Kennedy. Kennedy's grounded out and walked on the day, so 0 for 1. And one of the most impressive things I can tell you about Dylan Bierman, I'll tell you just after this pitch. That's going to stay high. It'll be a ball and no strikes. Bierman was the 2021 James Byers Award winner last year for Lipscomb. That's presented annually to the top senior male and female athlete who display outstanding Christian leadership and excels both academically and athletically. It's going to miss downstairs 2-0. So Bierman was the Byers Award winner for the entire university last year at Lipscomb. And that'll be in there for a strike. It'll be 2 balls and 1 strike, so a very prestigious award. And certainly one of the high moments of a career at Lipscomb for Dylan Bierman, something for which he should be proud. That's hit on a line and going to be gloved by Malik Williams. So Kennedy hit that one well, but Malik Williams ranged over and gloved it, and so he'll retire Kennedy for the second out of the inning. And Patty McCormick will bat with 2 outs and the bases empty. Kermit has grounded out and hit into a fielder's choice, so 0 for 2 on the day. Got 3 hits and 26 at-bats to start the season, does Patty McCormick. Looks at an off-speed pitch through there for a strike, 0-1. McCormick out of Hampshire, Illinois. He's a junior, 5'7", 160 pounders. Made some good plays at second base that we've seen this weekend. Swings to another off-speed pitch there, and it's 0-2. So Bierman with a lot of deception. He'll throw a changeup, a slider, and create some angles and some spin that makes it tough on hitters. He's got McCormick in a no-ball 2-strike count with 2 outs. Misses outside with a fastball. Some of you may be wondering if this game could end early. There is at times an agreement for games to end with a 10-run differential. Of course, now that's no longer in effect. It's a 10-2 ball game, so this game will continue on. McCormick's going to tap that one foul. My understanding was the teams had agreed to go ahead and play 9 innings no matter what the score was. So I believe we'll have a full 9 innings today, or possibly more if this one were to get tied up. But Dylan Bierman is in, and he's got a 1-ball 2-strike count on Patty McCormick. Malik Peters waits on deck and checks his swing and takes inside. It'll be 2-2. First action of the year for Dylan Bierman. And here comes the 2-2. That's going to be a fastball that'll miss away, 3-2. Harper started the inning off with a walk. Jonathan Latham hit the first pitch he saw way out of here, and then back-to-back ground out and a line out for 2 outs. And so it's now a 3-ball 2-strike count on McCormick. Swings and fouls it at the plate. As we mentioned, Ike Buxton was your starter. He went 6 innings, just gave up 1 hit, walked 3, struck out 3, did hit a batter, but terrific day, 86 pitches for Ike Buxton and his Sunday start. And that's a breaking ball that's going to stay high, and that'll be ball 4. Second walk of the inning, and on at first base with 2 outs is McCormick, and Malik Peters will come up. Actually, no, we're going to have a pinch hitter here. And that pinch hitter is going to be number 7, Brandon Johnson. Brandon Johnson, a 5'11", 220-pounder out of Rochelle, Illinois. So Brandon Johnson batting for Peters. So 2 outs, runner at first. 2 runs already home this inning for the Huskies. And he swings and hits this one in the gap in right center field. Houghton going over, dives, can't get there. Ball's going to go all the way to the wall. McCormick's going to be waved around third. He's going to score, and cruising into third base is going to be Brandon Johnson. So again, first pitch swinging Johnson hit that one all the way to the deepest part of the ballpark. Maddox Houghton with a valiant effort as he tried to lay out to get to that one, and ball got past him, rolled all the way to the wall, and that meant the right fielder John Shields had to get over there and retrieve it. So McCormick will score from first. That's the 3rd run of the inning, and the score is now 10-3, as Johnson will be at third base with a stand-up triple. And give credit to these two pinch hitters that have come in this inning. Both Latham and Johnson have stung the ball well. Latham hitting it out of the ballpark and Johnson with a triple. So back to the top of the order in Matt Barnes, and he taps this one towards second base. Coppage is going to field the slow roller, has to come up with it quickly and throw, and he will record the third out of the inning. But the Huskies do some damage. They have 3 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors. They left 1 man on base. And as we go to the 7th inning stretch, we've got a new score. It's Lipscomb 10, Northern Illinois 3. You're watching Lipscomb Bison's Baseball on YouTube Live. New pitcher on the mound for the Huskies, 4th pitcher of the day, freshman right-hander Connor Lutz, 6'4", 215-pounder out of Libertyville, Illinois. Lutz has worked 3 innings on the season. He's given up 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. And he'll face Caleb Ketchup, the 9th man in the order for the Bisons, to start the bottom of the 7th. 2 very effective innings from Tommy Meyer, who retired the Bisons in order for 2 consecutive innings. And Lutz starts him off with a fastball outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Ketchup has singled, walked, and flied out on the day. 1 for 3 on the day. And that's a fastball that is going to miss high, and it'll be 2 balls and no strikes. That one must have been downstairs. So it's 3-0 now. 3 balls, no strikes. Top of the order, and John Shields is waiting on deck. And that's hit high in the air behind home plate. The catcher doesn't see it, and coming all the way down from first base is Kennedy, but Latham never saw that, and Kennedy just didn't have a chance to get there. So that'll be 3 balls and 1 strike as Ketchup hit that a mile high straight back to the screen. Latham never saw it. So it'll stay at 3-1. Lutz, a true freshman, Libertyville, Illinois, 3-year letter winner at Libertyville High School. Had 38 strikeouts in 36 innings as a senior in high school last year, and he swings and has a foul ball off the bat of Ketchup here. So getting his feet wet in some Division I baseball, and people often forget that big transition that goes from pitching in high school a year ago to now standing out here in a college baseball game. So good opportunity for Coach Kunagonis to get some of these freshmen some experience here. That's a breaking ball going to miss off the edge of the plate, and that'll be ball 4. So Ketchup will be aboard with a walk. Go back to the top of the lineup and John Shields. John's had a big day. He's got a couple of base hits, an RBI. He scored a couple runs, stolen a couple of bases. Up to 333 on the season now. 2 for 3 on the day, 2 runs scored in the RBI. For the season, 9 for 27 with 7 RBIs. Ketchup runs very well at first base, as we've mentioned, 6 for 7 on steals for the season for Caleb Ketchup. And now that it's a 10-3 game rather in the 7th, I would think that running game could be back in order. He's not running, and Shields just hit that a mile. Goodbye. That's going to be gone if it stays fair, and it is. It hits the foul pole. Home run for John Shields. That ball was hit a mile high in the air, and it finally came down and settled up at the top of the foul pole, and that was really the only question, is whether it would stay fair or not. If he hits the first pitch he sees way out of here. John Shields, 2-run home run, and the Bisons stretch their lead back out to 12-3. And Maddox Houghton will stand in there. Maddox also in the midst of a good day. He's tripled, walked, singled, and struck out. 2 for 3 on the day, 3 runs scored, 2 RBIs, and up to 367 on the season. And he looks at a breaking ball that'll stay downstairs, 1 ball and no strikes. I think the wind actually held that one up a little bit. So again, the only question is whether it would stay fair or not. But it kicked off the top of the foul pole and was ruled a home run as first base umpire Chris Dykman was running down the line to keep an eye on it. So Shields homers. Still nobody out in the inning after the walk and the home run, and that'll miss downstairs, and it'll be 2-0. Trace Wilhoit waits on deck for the Bisons. Inside there for 3-0 count. So Lutz struggling to stay in the zone a little bit here early on. We mentioned again, big moment for a freshman. They all have to work through nerves being on the mound and getting settled into the rhythm of facing college hitters. Here comes the 3-0. That's going to miss way outside for ball 4. Second walk of the inning, and that'll put Houghton aboard with nobody out and bring up Trace Wilhoit. Trace on the day has struck out, singled, and driven in a run and flied out. Had 2 RBIs on that single in the 3rd inning. So he's 2 for 4 on the day with a pair of RBIs and a run scored. 256 on the season for Wilhoit. Seeing his average slowly creep up. He got off to a slow start, but he's been steadily seeing the ball better and hitting it better here, and he looks at a fastball just off the plate, 1 ball and no strikes. Again, we're in the bottom of the 7th. Lipscomb has put up a pair in this inning to stretch their lead to 12-3. 11 hits for the Bisons now to produce those 12 runs. That one's going to catch the outside corner. It'll be a ball and a strike on Wilhoit. We get set for the 1-1 pitch from Connor Lutz. Swung on and hit into the gap in right center field. It's going to drop in front of the charging Irado, and they're going to hold Maddox Houghton at second base. So Wilhoit didn't hit that one as hard as I thought when it came off the bat, but he's going to be out there with a base hit. It'll be the second hit of the inning for the Bisons, and they got runners first and second and nobody out, and Malik Williams is going to come to the plate. Sacrifice fly and an RBI in the 1st. He walked and scored a run in the 2nd. He flew out in the 3rd, and he flew out in the 4th. And so, mentioned earlier, Malik's been on a little bit of a home run drought. I'm sure he would love to shake that loose at this point. He still leads the Bisons with 3 home runs on the season and 14 RBIs, and hits that one on a line into left field. They're going to wave Houghton around 3rd. He's going to score easily, and holding at 2nd will be Wilhoit. And Malik Williams has driven in another run. RBI base hit for Malik Williams. That gives him 2 RBIs on the day, and the Huskies haven't been able to record an out here in the inning. They've got 2 walks and 3 base hits, and we're going to have a pinch runner for Malik Williams. Jogging down to first base is number 9, August Haymaker. So Haymaker in to run for Williams. So Haymaker in to run for Williams. Rudy Maxwell will stroll up to the plate. Rudy has Reached on an error, single and driven in a run, grounded into a fielder's choice and flown out. So he's 1 for 4 on the day, 341 on the season, 7 RBIs, has 1 home run. And the Bison's runners first and second, nobody out, 3 runs home in this inning. It's the third to them today. They've put up 3 runs as they scored 3 each in the first, second, and third inning. Added a single run in the fourth. Didn't put any runs up in the fifth and sixth, but they're back at it here in the seventh, and they've stretched their lead out to 13-3. And that's going to catch the corner for strike 1 against Rudy. Paxia is on deck for the Bisons. Swings and misses an off-speed pitch there. Had him fooled, and it's 0-2. So 0 balls, 2 strikes on Maxwell. Again, we're playing in the bottom of the seventh. Lipscomb leading Northern Illinois 13-3. The Huskies fought back to put a 3 spot up in the top of the seventh, but the Bison's gone right back to work here and put up 3 in their half of the seventh inning. And the 0-2 pitch to Maxwell. That one bounces up there. Latham at catcher keeps it in front of him, and runners cannot advance. So the count will be 1 ball and 2 strikes. Reminder again, the Bison's back in action on Tuesday. They'll be up in Clarksville playing Austin Peay. First pitch of that one will be 3 p.m. Central. And then home action here at Dugan Field on Wednesday. The Bisons will host Austin Peay. Again, 3 p.m. Central Time start. Here comes the 1-2, and that'll stay high. And it'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes on Rudy Maxwell. 6'4", 225-pound graduate transfer from Duke. Fine addition to this Bison's team. Coach Jeff Forehand and the staff remarking on how this young man came in midway through the year, transferred in January, and immediately enmeshed himself into the team and became a very popular teammate with everyone, which is not easy to do. He swings and hits this one foul. And speaking of teammates, he just about took a couple of them out. I see a couple of guys hitting the deck. Looks like no harm, no foul, but quick reactions over there on the part of Brian Hama and Hayden Skipper. They both hit the deck, and they may want to speak a word to Mr. Maxwell about what he may have against them, trying to take them out there. But 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, runners first and second. And that breaking ball is going to stay high, and it'll be 3-2. Paxia waiting on deck. Bison's midweek action, Austin Peay, and then on the road at Georgia next weekend. So those games will all be televised. Check lipscombsports.com to get the up-to-date information for the telecast location of those 3 games. Swung on and hit a mile high in the air down the left side. That's going to get foul and out of play. And I believe that might have landed on top of the Huskies team bus. That one was hit a mile high out behind the bullpen in left field. So the count will remain 3 balls and 2 strikes on Rudy Maxwell. Nobody out. Haymaker running at first in relief of Malik Williams, and Trace Wilhoit is running at second, as it's 13-3 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Nobody out, and Maxwell gets set to see the payoff pitch from Connor Lutz. That's going to miss outside, ball 4. Third walk of the inning, and that'll get the bases loaded for Lilo Paxia. Paxia came on and singled. The very first pitch he saw, he hit for a base hit off of Tommy Meyer. Back in the 6th inning, it was the only base hit that Meyer surrendered as he erased Paxia with a double play ball off the bat of Bertolani. So Paxia batting for the 2nd time today. Bases loaded, nobody out, and off-speed pitch gets in there for a strike, 0-1. Ketchup started the inning with a walk. Shields homered, another walk to Houghton, a single by Wilhoit, and a single by Malik Williams, and Rudy Maxwell walked, and here we are with Paxia, and that one's going to miss downstairs, and it's a ball and a strike. 3 base hits and 3 walks in the inning, or 2 walks in the inning, correction. Nope, I will go with 3. 3 base hits and 3 walks. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it here. 3 base hits, 3 walks, 3 runs in. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Paxia, nobody out. Checked to swing, but I believe he did go around. Looked like another breaking ball, so it's a ball and 2 strikes on Lilo Paxia. Jazz Bertolani is on deck. Paxia in relief as he replaced Mason Lundgren at the designated hitter spot. And the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, and did it hit him? Not sure of the call. I don't think it did. It might have hit his bat. That might be what the umpire is suggesting. I Saw him make a sign that he was going to stay there, and there's going to be a conversation now, I think, with Coach Gunagonis about what happened on the pitch. I think he's going to be pleased with the outcome because they're going to keep Paxia at the plate. And I think he might be arguing that Paxia tried to move into that ball, in which case he would be out if he tried to move into it. And so he's going to ask the umpires to confer. Home plate umpire Adam Clark's going to go out and talk to his colleagues. But that would be the question. If Paxia moved into the pitch to try to get hit, then it would be considered a strike, and he'd be a strikeout victim. So that's what I believe the discussion is about. So it's one of those very, very tough judgment call rules that happen in college baseball. And of course, it's very rare that a player wants to get hit with a pitch. Most of the time they're trying to get out of the way because those things hurt. But there can be situations where they are said to be moving in. That's what's going to happen here. So Coach Gunagonis is going to win that argument. Paxia is going to be a strikeout victim. We'll give that a strikeout swinging, and that'll be the first out of the inning. And so Bertolani's going to bat. Bertolani has been hit by a pitch. He's grounded into a double play, grounded out, and struck out. Jazz looking to get untracked here on his day. He's got a big moment and a big opportunity. The bases are full of Bisons as Will Hoyt running at third, Haymaker at second, and Maxwell at first. Bertolani to face Connor Lutz with one out in the bottom of the seventh. 3 runs already home in this inning for the Bisons. And that one's going to stay high, and it'll be 1 ball and no strikes. 13 hits, 13 runs for the Bisons, 3 hits, 3 runs for the Huskies. Huskies have committed 1 error. The Bisons have not committed an error today after committing 6 yesterday, so they used up their quota for a while, I suppose, in yesterday's game. Breaking ball is going to be in there for a strike, and it's a ball and a strike. So we've seen mostly sliders, it looks like, from Connor Lutz as he's attacking these Bisons hitters. And Bertolani will swing through that one, and the count will be a ball and 2 strikes. So still staying with the slider there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Coppage waits on deck. So they ruled that Paxia moved into that pitch intentionally, and since he had 2 strikes on him, he was assessed a 3rd strike, and he became a strikeout victim. Here comes the 1-2, and that one's going to be a slider that'll miss off the plate, 2-2. Don't see that called very often, and it was not called from home plate, but Coach Mike Gunagonis went out and asked the umpires to confer. And the umpires in the field, who have a better view of the front of the batter, said yes, they did indeed. He did move in front of it. Here comes the 2-2, and that's just off the plate, 3-2. Another breaking ball. So he stayed all breaking ball to Bertolani here. We'll see if 3-2 he gives in and brings him a fastball, or if he stays with that breaking ball. Freshman Connor Lutz on the mound for the Huskies, and here comes the payoff pitch. And swings and fouls it back, and that was the breaking ball again. We'll do it all again. Payoff pitch due to Chaz Bertolani. The bases are full of Bisons with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And just off the plate. Boy, tough call there. Second baseman McCormick is kind of saying, where is that one? It was certainly close, but it's ruled a walk. And jogging in from third base will be Will Hoyt. He will score the 14th run of the game for the Bisons. 4th run of the inning, and that was indeed a good pitch. It was a close pitch, but the call didn't go the way of Lutz, and I think third baseman Harper's jogging over to tell him, hey, buddy, all you can do is throw the best pitch you can, and he made a good pitch there. So David Coppage will come up for the first time of the day. He came in and ran for Stamps in the last inning. Actually, that's not correct. He came in and batted, and he flew out in the last inning. So he's 0 for 1 on the day as Coppage, 1 base hit and 12 trips on the young season, and he bats with 1 out and the bases loaded. That's a breaking ball downstairs, and that'll be 1 ball and no strikes on Coppage. Bisons have batted around as the shortstop Ketchup is on deck, and he led off this inning with a walk. It's 14-3 now. Lipscomb leading Northern Illinois. And foul straight back as Coppage took a big hack at that one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Coppage again, redshirt freshman out of Chesterfield, Virginia, transfer from the University of Virginia. 6 foot 185 pounds, first season on campus here in Nashville. And the 1 pitch, and it almost hit him. Breaking ball stayed inside. And it'll be 2 balls and 1 strike on David Coppage. Haymaker running at third, Maxwell at second, Bertolani running at first. 1 out, and David Coppage waits a 2-1 pitch, and he hammers that one to left field. Going back is Peters. He's ranging over. He's going to catch it there. Tagging at third is going to be Haymaker. The throw is going to come into third, and Chaz Bertolani will drive in the 15th run of the day with a sacrifice fly. Or correction, Coppage will drive it in with a sacrifice fly. So that's an RBI as Haymaker comes in and scores. It'll be the 5th run of the inning for the Bisons, but there are now 2 outs, and batting for the 2nd time this inning will be Caleb Ketchup. Ketchup started the inning with a base on balls, came around and scored on the home run off the bat of Shields, and so 2 outs, runners first and second with Maxwell at second and Bertolani at first. That one's going to miss high. It'll be 1 ball and no strikes on Caleb Ketchup. Ketchup walked, Shields homered, Houghton walked, Will Hoyt singled, Malik Williams singled an RBI, Maxwell walked, Paxia struck out, Bertolani walked, and then Coppage hit a sacrifice fly, and that's 5 runs in the inning. And that's in there for a strike. It'll be a ball and a strike on Caleb Ketchup. That one's on the outside corner of the plate, ball and 2 strikes. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, your score, Lipscomb 15, Northern Illinois 3. We're playing here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. That one bounces up there. Nice play by Latham to keep it in front of him. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. We'll get you caught up back on the scoreboard once we get to the next half inning. We're checking scores of area teams and also the Atlantic Sun Conference action that's around the area today. Again, all the college baseball playing on this Sunday. And here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and tapped toward the right side. McCormick has to range over. He's going to glove it and throw to first. And that will be the 3rd out of the inning. But it is indeed a productive inning for the Bisons. They wind up scoring 5 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors, and there were 2 men left on base. The Bisons have stranded 9 men on the day, but they've opened up a big lead here. We've got 7 full innings in the books, and your score, Lipscomb 15, Northern Illinois 3. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. We're headed to the top of the 8th inning. There's a new pitcher on the mound for the Bisons. He is the sophomore right-hander Tyler Legier, 6 foot tall, 170 pounder out of Madison, Alabama, transfer from Calhoun Community College. Legier has worked just 1 inning on the season, giving up 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, no walks or no strikeouts. And he'll be facing 2-3-4 for the Huskies, starting with Andre Demetrol in the top of the 8th inning. That one misses inside for ball one. Dimitrov has struck out, grounded out, and been hit by a pitch on the day. Legier, a somewhat side-armed, low three-quarter arm righty that'll come across his body and create some angles against these right-handed hitters. And that one's going to catch the outside corner for a ball and a strike. Again, we mentioned catching you up on our scoreboard, and we'll try to work through that during this half inning. He swung on and hit in the air on the right side. The first baseman, which I believe is Haymaker, is backing up and grabbing that, and indeed he does. So Haymaker now in the game at first base. Another defensive substitution is Tiger Borum is in right field. So Haymaker now at first, Coppage over at second, Borum in right field. So the entire right side of the lineup is in a little bit different place than what we started with. So Eric Arado is going to bat. Arado on the day is struck out, walked, and grounded out. That's through there for a strike, nothing in one. Swings and hits that foul. Out of play, and Legier's ahead of Arado, nothing in two. We're paused for a minute because the official scorebook has a pinch hitter in, but this is indeed Arado, number 5, who's gone all the way for the Huskies. So we're gonna stick with that one. And Legier ready to bring the 0-2 pitch to Arado. This is inside and low, a ball and 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Playing in the top of the 8th inning. Lipscomb leading Northern Illinois 15-3. Sun's poked back out, as you can see. So it's been a very pleasant afternoon at the ballpark. Wind is still blowing in from center field, and he hits that one foul and out of play, and the count will remain at a ball and 2 strikes. Having a little trouble getting our updated scoreboard. We've got a handful of scores we can give you. 20th ranked Liberty is leading Canisius 14-5 in the top of the 8th. Jacksonville State is on top of Siena 11-8 in the top of the 7th. 17th ranked Tennessee has defeated Oklahoma 8-0. And got him, strike 3. Great spot there. Legier executing a beautiful pitch, and he'll get Arado called out on strikes. That's the second out of the inning. First strikeout for Legier, and that'll bring up Aaron Harper. Harper has walked, grounded into a double play and walk, so 0 for 1 on the day. In 242 on the season is Aaron Harper. Sophomore infielder out of Hemet, California. And that one's going to skip all the way back to the screen, just a bit outside, as they say. 1 ball, no strikes. Latham would be next if Harper can extend the inning here. So the Bisons 3 runs in the first, 3 in the second, 3 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and then 5 more in the bottom of the 7th. So a total of 15 on the day today. And that one's going to miss downstairs, and it'll be 2 balls and no strikes. Tyler Dozier is the third Bisons pitcher. Ike Buxton wins the first 6, shutout ball. Dylan Bierman pitched the 7th, and now Legier handed the ball in the 8th inning. And that one's right through there for a strike. So 2 balls and 1 strike. And swung and missed that one. 2-2. That was a slider going way away from him, and he just couldn't catch up with it. So it'll make the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Base is empty. Legier shaking off the sign. It looks like he's got what he wants to throw now. And he threw a slider that he just got a piece of. That one was really slicing away from him. But he stays alive at a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Legier played 1 year at Calhoun Community College, appearing in 14 games. That one's going to miss inside and low, and that'll take the count full on Harper, 3-2. He had 22 strikeouts in 15 innings pitched last year at Calhoun Community College. Before that, he played at James Clemens High School in Alabama. Here comes the payoff pitch, and it's going to miss inside for ball 4. So Harper will jog down to first. That'll bring up Jonathan Latham, and Latham pitch hit back in the 7th, and he hit the first pitch he saw way out of here to left field, and so he is 1 for 1 on one swing and one pitch on the day with a home run. That was a 2-run home run. And he'll bat now with 2 outs and a runner at first. Again, Lipscomb 15-3, leading Northern Illinois here in the top of the 8th inning. Again, we apologize that our scoreboard is down for the moment for giving you the out-of-town scores. We'll try to remedy that if we can. That one's going to be in there for a strike. 0-1 to Latham. Scott Combs is due to be up on deck if Latham can extend the inning here. The 0-1 misses downstairs. That'll even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Swung on and fouled out of play. The count will be a ball and 2 strikes. We got our scores back up and running, so we'll update you on some other ASUN action here. Stetson is leading Sacred Heart 8-2. That's in the top of the 4th. Kennesaw State leading Troy 6-4. That's in the bottom of the 8th. South Alabama has beaten Middle Tennessee 4-2. And Dayton has come back and is now leading Belmont 11-9 in the bottom of the 9th. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Got him, strike 3. So 2 strikeouts in the inning for Legier. And he's able to work around the base on balls. Nothing doing for the Huskies here in the 8th inning. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Your score, Lipscomb 15, Northern Illinois 3. You're watching Lipscomb Bison's Baseball on YouTube Live. We go to the home half of the 8th inning. Lipscomb leading Northern Illinois 15-3. We've got another pitching change for the Huskies. Freshman right-hander Mason Rue is on the mound. 6'4", 215-pounder out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, from Wisconsin Lutheran High School. Rue has pitched 2 innings on the season so far. Hasn't allowed a hit, hasn't allowed a run, hasn't walked anybody, and has struck out 1. And he's going to face Tiger Borum, will be batting today for the first time. Borum, 2 hits and 12 at-bats on the season. He comes in place of John Shields. He had played out in right field in the top of the 8th inning, so he'll bat now. Borum with his first at-bat of the day, facing Mason Rue, and that's going to be an inside fastball for strike 1. 5th pitcher of the day for the Huskies. Landgrader started, followed by Bonk, Meyer, Lutz, and he hits this on the ground to short. It's going to be gloved by Dimitrol. Long throw, and he's going to get him. So Borum is retired on that ground out 6-3. And that'll bring up center fielder. Actually, that's a correction. We are going to have a pinch hitter. This is going to be Hayden Skipper. Hayden Skipper is going to bat for Maddox Houghton. Skipper with a big at-bat in Friday night's game. If you were tuned in, you know that the Bisons were down 6-2 going into that inning, and Skipper came up and had an at-bat where he fought off, fouled a number of pitches away, finally drew a walk, and one batter later, John Shields hit the grand slam. That was the big blow in the inning. So he looks at a strike there, nothing in one, so excellent at-bat by Skipper. That's a breaking ball that'll stay high, a ball and a strike. And he gets an at-bat here. With one out and a 1-1 pitch, and he swings through that one, 1-2. Rue working quickly here. Good-looking freshman right-hander on the mound for the Huskies. And he gets him on strike 3, so punch out there for Mason Rue, and that'll bring up Trace Wilhoit. Actually, no, we're also going to have a pinch hitter here. This is going to be number 4, Cam McMillan. So McMillan is going to bat for Wilhoit here as the Bison is using this opportunity to get a number of youngsters in the lineup. McMillan started a designated hitter on Friday, was 0 for 3 in that game, didn't play in yesterday's game. 2 outs, base is empty, and he swings through an off-speed pitch there, nothing in one. So tip your cap to Rue, comes into a tough situation in the ball game where lead has been stretched out, and he's simply doing his job and throwing strikes and getting ahead of hitters here for the true freshman. Throws this one, and it's going to be hit to the ground short. Demetrol is going to be up and flipped to first, and that's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Mason Rue and the Huskies, and I believe that'll be only the second 1-2-3 inning of the day for the Bison. So we've got eight innings in the books, and your score, Lipscomb 15, Northern Illinois 3. We'll be back to tell you about the top of the ninth after this short break. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. We're headed to the top half of the ninth inning. 15 runs, 13 hits, no errors for Lipscomb. 3 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Northern Illinois Huskies. And a new pitcher on the mound for the Bison, sophomore right-hander Colin Witzke. 6'3", 210-pounder out of Aurora, Illinois via Kalamazoo Valley Community College. Witzke on the season has worked just 2 innings, given up 1 hit, 1 run. It is earned, and 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. And so He's going to start out with Tyler Theory, who's going to be pinch hitting here for Scott Combs. So Tyler Theory will come in and get an at-bat. Theory was in as a pinch runner in yesterday's game. First at-bat of the season for Theory, according to our stat sheet. He looks at a fastball through their strike one. Number of defensive changes for the Bisons. They've got Skipper in center field now. Borum is in right. McMillan's at third. Hama at short. Coppage at second. And Haymaker at first. Chaz Bertolani still behind the plate. And Colin Witzke on the mound as the fourth pitcher of the day for the Bisons. And that one's going to miss away. And it'll even the count at 1-1 strike. So Theory batting for the Huskies here in the top of the ninth. That one's going to miss high, and it'll be 2-1. A couple other scores on our scoreboard update. South Alabama has beaten Middle Tennessee 4-2. Dayton's leading Belmont 11-9, bottom of the ninth. Butler has beaten Jacksonville 7-3, and Florida Gulf Coast has beaten Seton Hall 8-0. Here comes the 2-1, swung on and hit in the air to right field, rather. Borum coming in, it's going to drop in front of him, so I don't think he saw that off the bat, as I think that could have been an easy out, but he didn't see it off the bat. Instead, it drops in front of him, so that'll go as a base hit for Tyler Theory. It'll be his first base hit of the season and his first at-bat. Fourth hit of the day for the Huskies. And another pinch hitter here, number 23, Daniel Clausen, redshirt freshman out of Arlington Heights, Illinois. Daniel Clausen batting here for Kennedy. Fastball on the outside corner for a strike. So Clausen batting with Theory running at first, nobody out in the top of the ninth inning, and they're not even holding him on at first, and he's not going to try to advance in this 15-3 game, and that's swung on and fouled at the plate. And count will be 0-2 to Clausen. Other scores, Presbyterian has beaten Bellarmine 8-4. Looks like that Central Arkansas and South Dakota State have been canceled due to weather. And North Florida leading Boston College 16-8 in the bottom of the eighth. And lastly, North Alabama has beaten Tennessee Martin 8-5. So there's your scoreboard update. We apologize for that being delayed. We had a few technical problems on that. It's got a no-ball, two-strike count to Daniel Clausen, and Colin Witzke gets set to come to him. Outside, hit his spot, but it was set up outside. And fastball misses, 1 ball, 2 strikes. McCormick is on deck and scheduled to bat. Again, getting a lot of youngsters into this ball game late in the game. Both sides are. And here comes the 1-2 pitch from Witzke to Clausen. The breaking ball is going to miss high, and it'll be 2-2. Ike Buxton started, went the first 6 innings, gave up 1 hit, no runs. He was followed by Dylan Bierman, who worked the 7th. Tyler Legier worked the 8th, and Witzke on here in the 9th. So 4 pitchers used today for the Bisons. And the 2-2 from Witzke. Swung on and hit high in the air. It's going to make the stands, though, behind third base. And lands near another one of those blankets that spread out with some fans, but thankfully that one was vacant at the moment. And another youngster's got a souvenir, and he's quite excited by that. He's got a choice to make here. He can return it to the concession stand for a free popcorn, or he can hang on to it as a souvenir baseball. And we'll try to update you on his decision on that. Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Clausen. Misses outside, and that'll make it 3-2. And it appears that youngster has decided to keep the baseball and forego the popcorn, so I like that decision myself. You can always buy some more popcorn. You can't always get a souvenir baseball from one that's been used in a college game. Here comes the 3-2, swung on and hit in the air to the right field side. Borum's going to drift over a couple of steps, and he'll collect that one for the first out of the inning. So Clausen is retired, and McCormick will bat, I believe. Yes, this is indeed McCormick, and had a different batter announced, but via my view of the plate, this is McCormick batting for the 4th time today. He's grounded out, hit into a fielder's choice, walked, and scored a run. So we're going to call that McCormick until proven otherwise. 0 for 2 on the day. And that one catches the outside corner, and it'll be 0-1. And they're now holding the runner on at first is Haymaker. Again, different defensive alignment. The only starter in the field is Maxwell in left, Skipper in center, Borum in right, McMillan at third, Hama at short, Coppage at second, and Haymaker at first. Bertolani still behind the plate. That one's he's going to get the call. That was off the plate, but he hit his spot, and he's going to get the call. That's 0-2 on McCormick. Brandon Johnson scheduled to be on deck. Northern Illinois trailing Lipscomb 15-3 here in the top of the ninth inning. Here comes the 0-2 pitch from Colin Witzke. Swings through at strike three. First strikeout for Witzke, and the Huskies are down to their final out. And that will be Brandon Johnson. And Johnson stepped up as a pinch hitter in the seventh and hit the first pitch he saw to the right center field wall for a double. So he's 1 for 1 on the day. And that one's going to miss inside for ball one. Johnson now 1 for 3 on the season. And the Huskies are down to their final out. They've played hard throughout this weekend series, but it will take quite a rally to come back now. That one's going to be hit foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, they led both of the first 2 games late, but the Bisons rallied in the bottom of the 8th. And Friday night they put up 6 and then hung on to give up 1 in the 9th and walk away with an 8-7 win. Did the same thing with a rally in the bottom of the 8th on Saturday, only to see them tie it in the 9th, and then the Bisons had to walk it off, and that's a ground ball, and that's going to end the game. You can wrap this one in purple and gold. So this one is going to go in the books with the Lipscomb Bisons taking a 15-3 win. Your final line score on the game for the Bisons, 15 runs on 13 hits, no errors. For the Huskies, 3 runs on 4 hits and 1 error. The Huskies are going to end up stranding 6 men on base. The Bisons ended up stranding 9 for the day. I believe your winning pitcher is going to be Ike Buxton. An excellent start for Buxton. As I said, he went the first 6 innings of the day, gave up only 1 hit, walked 3, struck out 3, and he's going to collect the win for the Lipscomb Bisons. Our time of the game is 2 hours and 55 minutes. And we'll give you a brief recap of this one. The Bisons really jumped out to this one early in the bottom of the first inning. John Shields walked. Maddox Houghton tripled him home. And then Malik Williams followed with a sacrifice fly to drive in the second run of the inning. Rudy Maxwell reached on an error, and then there was an RBI single from Mason Lundgren, and the Bisons were up 3-0. They went right back to work in the second inning. With 2 outs, Houghton drew a walk, and then there was a single from Will Hoyt, followed by another base on balls to Williams and Rudy Maxwell with an RBI single, and there were 3 more runs in that inning. So 6-0 after 2 innings. 3 more were put up in the third inning. A walk to Ketchup, a single by Shields, a single by Houghton, drove in 1, and then 2 RBIs on a base hit by Trace Wilhoit, and the Bisons were out 9-0. They added 1 more in the fourth to go up 10-0. Started with a walk to Lundgren. There was also a walk to Ketchup and then an RBI base hit off the bat of John Shields, and it was 10-0. Bisons saw the Huskies fight back in the 7th inning. They started off with a walk and then a home run off the bat of Jonathan Latham. Hit the first pitch he saw out of the ballpark. After another walk, there was a double to Brandon Johnson, and that drove in a 3rd run of the day to cut the deficit to 10-3. But the Bisons stormed back and put up 5 runs in the bottom of the 7th as they batted around. John Shields had a 2-run home run in that inning. Also an RBI base hit from Malik Williams. A sacrifice fly off the bat of David Coppage, and so 5 runs put up in the 7th. And that would end the scoring as the Bisons wind up with those 15 runs to only 3 for Northern Illinois. So again, the win will go to Ike Buxton. He's 1-0 on the year. The loss will go to the starter Connor Landgrader. He'll be 0-1 on the season. Reminder that the next action for Lipscomb baseball will be on Tuesday, March the 8th, when the Bisons will take on the Governors of Austin Peay. The first pitch will be at 3 p.m. Central Time. Our next telecast from Dugan Field here will be on Wednesday, March the 9th. Again, the Bisons will turn around and host the Austin Peay Governors the very next day right here. Again, first pitch will be at 3 p.m. Central Time. We'll be on the air at approximately 2:55 p.m. Central Time here on YouTube Live. Our special thanks to Lipscomb Athletic Director Philip Hutchison, the Associate Athletic Director for External Relations Brent McMillan, Assistant Athletic Director for Communications Kirk Downs, and the Assistant Director for Athletic Communications Hannah Jo Riley. I want to thank my colleague Erica Plunkett for on-field interview work, and on behalf of our entire crew here today, this is Doc Allen saying thanks for your time this time. Until next time, so long. You've been watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live.